Them still can't control now. Go on again. Illuminati. Well, go on again. Check.
Yeah, you can come over now, you hear? Oscar. Hey, Oscar, you can come across.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for the first final on day number 4. Event 35, the Cross Street Boys Launcher.
Welcome to day number 4, the penultimate day of the Issa Grace Kennedy Boys and Girls Championships 2025, right here on Omega Radio. And we have new sponsors added.
Grace Kennedy Remittance Services, Western Union supporting the future of Jamaican athletes. We are going to be going over to the long jump area for the first finals on day 4 of the championships. Penultimate day already. Shoshana, can you believe it?
It's moving fast, for some not fast enough.
What, the track or the days?
Both. But no, it's good to be here. I am Joshua McGowan, and you're hearing Damian Hilton. And to join later, we have Davian Nugent and Shane Utson, and we will rotate to make sure that we're not worn out and we can keep you updated because we don't want you to change the channel. And we go until, let me tell you, the last event set to compete at 9:10 p.m. 9:10 p.m.
9:10
So
p.m.
you are in for a treat with us. You're spending the entire morning and afternoon with us, and we're going to make sure we provide as much update and live coverage as we can here. And we have been doing so since the start of the championships on Tuesday. So let me tell you the lineup, the youngsters who made the finals for the long jump and the field event athletes are having such a good time as well as the track athletes.
Yes, indeed. While you get the lineup ready, we heard that the Class 2 boys discuss. There's a new record in the Class 2 boys discuss. Young Zachary, that's young Zachary Campbell from Calabar High School with a new distance of 59.17 meters, breaking the record that was previously held, 56.49. So we now have 3 records at championships.
Yeah, I agree with you. The records are not just going on the track, but the field event athletes, and they're putting up, despite even with the PBs, you're seeing some of the season's best performances, which are just as important because you always want to be improving or even coming close to your season's best performance or getting
Your
that
personal
personal best.
best.
So I
Indeed.
think all in all, it has been going well. Oshin, good morning. I almost said good afternoon because we're here so early.
Yeah, and time is moving so fast. I can't believe it's the penultimate day already, Shoshana, because it just seemed like champ started yesterday. But
You know what's funny? You said that, right? And you and I and Damien. So by Wednesday at Champs or Thursday for us as broadcasters, all broadcasting media houses, right? We are exhausted and we do feel like the athletes that are competing because of the requirement of our job, the long hours, etc., utilizing our voices and the whole work. So you know that you start, not that you're not enjoying, but
yeah,
you start to feel tired, like, oh my God, when is it going to be over?
yeah, it's a little taxing because sometimes when
A
you have to
little.
be soaking up the emotions,
As well.
just
Yeah.
because a lot of people don't understand, it's when you're a fan of the sport.
Yes.
There are many things that goes through your mind when you sit in the stadium, and there's a lot to absorb, and there's a lot to give as well. So really, actually, you want it to be over in order for to preserve some of what you have inside of you. But at the end of the day, you'd wish also that it continues,
Exactly.
especially when the
Because this
excitement gets
morning,
fever pitch.
while getting ready, I'm like, oh my God, tomorrow's really the last day. Why is it ending? But then deep down inside, I'm one.
Yeah.
So it's not bittersweet reality. It's not love hate experience. But listen, ladies and gentlemen, it's a beautiful day here at the National Stadium in Kingston.
Hot.
It was a lot cooler earlier in the morning. We had some rainfall, cooling down the track of Shea. While the 80 meters hurdles for the class 4 girls and the 100 meters for the class 3 boys was on. But the sun is coming out in all its brilliance again, a little warmer
I
than
mean,
before.
it's still a little overcast, and I mean, that might be advantage for the athletes because the truth about it, when you get to about midday, then it can be real hot in Kingston. So it's overcast skies, and we know that today we're expecting a lot more personals to be in the bleachers section, and
Yes.
it will be a little saddened to know that to be in the elements, the rain out there, it can probably distracts her because we're just talking off here that about in minutes from now, we're going to be hearing those loud drums and
Yes,
noise
indeed.
from the parties coming in,
Most of the
especially the
schools will be releasing the children a little earlier than
yeah.
normal today and getting the bands in and getting those
So the whole
vuvuzelas, the drums, the noise.
everything will change in a moment's time. So really and truly, I wish the elements stays away. This morning was enough because I know that the track sometimes loves that sort of hydration, and then it then repays you with that those bounces, sprinting, quick time. 200 meters is gonna come up shortly. So really and truly, if it stays that, it will be happy. But again, we cannot control the externals. But so far, things are looking beautiful.
Just a quick update on the point standings after 15 events on the boys' side. Omo Technical, 15 points in 10 position. Stets, 18 points. They're in 9th position. Edwin Allen on 18. Sorry, 18 points for Stets, 18 points for Edwin Allen. Wilmer's Boys on 27 points. Monroe, 30. Excelsior High School, 33 points. St. Jago, 34. Jamaica College on 54. Calabar with a resurgence on 76 points. And Kingston College out front, 99.5 points on the boys' side. Any surprises there, Tashana? Any surprises there, Shake?
Not from where I sit. I think based on some of the calculations coming in, you would have expected the 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 likes of Kingston College to be out front. I think for many though, and if they've been following with Calabar also being in the contention and stuff, they maybe not surprised completely. But I think all in all, things are going somewhat according to plan. In my assumption, for Calabar though, I think they're a little bit ahead of projection, which they maybe can applaud themselves for. So big up Corey Bennett and his team. Kingston College just might take a hit, and I'll tell you why in a bit. Because they have, I think, utilized or exceeded, let me use the correct terms. I think they have exceeded their quota for athletes transferred into the school,
And
which would can likely put them in a position to lose points.
to be penalized for that. And interesting you
You,
said that, Shoshana, because
We would love to hear a little bit more on that.
I'm
and
going
I
to
mean
think.
and I mean
While you all discuss
there's a
that, let me
lot to
find the
talk
full
about
thing.
because this champs is not without its fair share of controversy. And it's happening right across the board. And like I say, we can ventilate some of those issues. But as regards to the question that Damien asked, I think Calabar is doing what we sort of expect them to do
Okay.
to this stage because the reality is even though there's few finals scored, there are a lot of finals to come.
Right.
And I think that's where we're gonna see the real separation. My surprise though is to see the school from Hope Road, Jamaica College, to
Jamaica
see where
College.
they are. I'm not saying they would have been much farther in terms of scoring opportunities, but as we said from early out in the week, you gotta get into scoring events and
Right.
positions. I think they are struggling to do that, and
Yes.
that is going to pay back come tomorrow and later on when it all finals or more final comes up. Then you're going to see a huge difference in terms of the point
Very
scoring.
good point.
Yeah.
Very good point.
All right. So let me tell you. So ISA has ruled that Kingston College exceeded their quota limit in Class One at Champs 2025. So that's for the Class One boys that they exceeded their quota limit. Only two transferred athletes are allowed, and Kingston College utilized three,
Wow.
including the Catalan winner, Jorel Clement of Grenada.
Interesting.
We asked a question, Trishan.
So,
How could that
How could that
hold,
happen?
happen?
Because
hold on a second, let me finish. Because I want our listeners, I'm reading it so our listeners understand, right?
verbatim, let them
So
know.
exactly. So let me before we break it down. So the rule is, listeners, only two transferred athletes are allowed to compete for any school.
And that's
Kings,
regardless of
and that's regardless
local
of
or
local
international.
or athletes transferred within from Jamaica
Yes,
where they're birth,
yes,
right?
yes.
So if they come from down one
Oh,
school
the
down a
chocolate.
Clarendon and come up a school of a KC,
Yeah,
and them come from Canada and come a school of KC or
same rule
JC,
applies.
it's the same rule applies, right?
Yes,
So only two transferred athletes are allowed, and Kingston College utilized
three.
three, including the decathlon winner from Grenada, Joel Clement. ISA will now take action in accordance with their rules and guidelines.
Wow.
So once we have the more information, we'll share that with you. So it could be that the decathlon winner, which would
So
accumulate, I think, about 12 points,
that
they
event
can
that
lose
must
that
even
12
score
points
some.
at the moment. And how much points are they on at the moment?
99.5 points.
So they would lose 12. We're not good in math, but you
That will
can.
take them down to 87.5
And that
points.
might mean they if those athletes that they utilize in that quota, will they be eligible to continue? Or is a case where reduce the number of class one transferees and continue with the rest of the championship?
Yeah, so several questions to be answered because it says what is to come will be from ISA based on their rule
Correct.
and how they handle such situations. So I don't want to assume
Yeah.
anything, but
Because the
more
truth
wait.
about if they decide to deduct the points, for example, for the decathlete, you might find that they might not have more issues because those athletes tend to only be contesting that event despite the
Right. So
numbers.
they will only
But
lose
for
12
example, if it's
points.
one of the athletes who probably had two track event, and if you decide if the outcome or the rule is that
Yeah.
you have to take one out, will they take out the athletes that probably has the 5,000? We're not saying the listeners, we don't know.
Well, they're on the track
Yes.
as we speak with at the girls' class 4 200 meters semifinals. The athletes are moving quite nicely around the bend, and the athlete here from is it
Homo
Heidel in
Technical
second place. Homo
and Heidel.
Technical establishing herself. Homo Technical looks like they're going to take this one. The battle is on for second and third place. The athlete from Heidel is digging, but here comes the athlete from St. Jago trying to get in there. Homo Technical will take this one.
And it just might be Clarendon College Moulton that finished second, but we have to wait because it was a surge at the end, and several of the young ladies crossed the line, vying to get that automatic spot. And I'll tell you who will sure to join Simpson. Sadelia Simpson got out pretty well.
Class 4 champion over
Class
the
4
100 meters.
champion,
Looking
yeah,
spunky.
looking to go for the double.
That's her mission now. The other, she'll tell you the harder one is out of the way. So she'll now enjoy this one. But she looks solid, Shoshana.
And sure, going through to the final as well. Tynika Moulton of Clarendon College, she finished second.
Another consistent competitor from the Central region. She has been doing that all season in terms of being competitive, and she tends to leave it a little late. And we saw it there. She's coming through to get by the likes of the athlete from Idel and St. Jago. So it's really good to see the schools from Clarendon and not just necessarily the Edwin and the Great Technical showing up and showing out at these championships.
Adelia Simpson 25.14 from Homo Technical, Clarendon College. Tanika Moulton 25.55 automatic qualifiers. There, others waiting on time.
Yes, they do, because from this class 4 girls, it's top 2, and the next 2 best times, the record 23.72 set back in 2017 by Brianna Liston. And Brianna Liston, we know, now overseas representing at the University of Louisiana, LSU. And it's when you say Brianna Liston in 2017 class 4, it sounds long time, don't it? It sounds long time, but it was just
and it shows you how
quickly time
far
flies. Oh
we
my
have
God.
flown. And Market, that was when she was at St. Jago, and she would have
Yes,
gone on and
before
done
transferring. Oh my
wonderful
word.
things for Idel. So really and truly, Brianna Liston was one that came to champs and really did well from the very onset until the moment she left high school. So
Yeah.
credit her. When records are still standing, sometimes it's a testament, Shoshana, to how good you were. And that's why I tell the persons when you talk about these young athletes, even if they don't go on. Last night when I hear a record like for Annette, Anish, not McClurkin, Sutherland from 2006, I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
She sits anywhere she sits now, and she'd wish her that record to be broken, but it then speaks to the quality that she was then. So really, we have to give credit to athletes when they come here, Shoshana, and put in the
perform.
work, because it might be history for them and sit on the record books for a while, and that's something you can boast about even in generations to come.
Absolutely. We go to the second heat on track, and this is the semi-final. So the 200 meters class 4 girls in lane 1, Limora Smith, St. Mary. In 2, Brianna Chin of Mount Alvernia. In 3, Salancia Graham of Merle Grove. In 4, Trisha Bunting, Fern Court. Renika Reed in 6 for Hydel. In 6, Azalea Allen of St. Andrew High. In 7, Shannon Hines, Convent of Mercy Alpha. And out in 8, Tanisha Kelly.
So they're off and running, and it looks to be an even break between the athlete from Ferncourt. So to the athlete from Idel, she'll come into the home stretch first, and she holds the advantage. Looks to Trina Bunting. Bunting is also there, but it's all about Reed of Idel that is taking advantage of this one, and she pulls away, running strong, looking strong. The Ferncourt is holding on for second. Let's see if they do it ahead of St. Andrew High School for girls, but it's all about Reed from Idel, 24.98. Looking strong, looking dominant, positive 1.8 meters per second for Reed, 25 seconds flat. That's the official time there. Ahead of Allen, 25.52. Trina Bunting, who was there for a good portion of this race, finishes third in 25.60. She'll have to wait to see if her time matches any of those in the weeks before or to come to see if she advances as a fast non-qualifier into the final. But look good is the athlete from Idella, looking very strong coming off the curve, Trishan. And I think for a tall athlete,
yeah, she hugs
despite
the
her
curve very
running
well.
mechanics,
And I think credit to Corey Bennett, gentlemen, for his continued work. You know, he's not only guiding them but teaching them, because, like you said, for her height in class 4, she hugged that curve very well and hit the straightaway full on sprint mode as she should be, and she crossed the line to make sure she's into the final, and as well as St. Andrew High getting through for second. And let me tell you, Shrina Bunting of Ferncourt will have to wait.
close finish between Allen and Bunting there. I mean, Bunting went out her hard, and I think that's how she usually runs her race. And again, this is a semi-final. It calls for you to give just a little bit more than you would have given in the heat, because it matters now. And sometimes you'll have enough time to recover. If you ask me, you can't leave it a chance that you'll make it while the others not
Absolutely.
running. Everybody, sometimes, as I said before, we said it last night repeatedly, you might be within your objective is to make the semi-finals. And once you get there, it's all or nothing thereafter. So real and
There's
truly,
nothing.
this at least looks good.
Yeah.
Two
Damien?
athletes from Idel already qualified for the finals of the Class 4 200 meters. They are looking to put points on the board. We have a Edwin Allen athlete coming up in the third and final semi-final. So let's see if Edwin Allen will book their place in the finals.
Absolutely. We go to the third and final semi-final in the class 4 girls. Sorry. In lane 1, Diana Ellis, Lokovia. In lane 2, Shamara Chin of Woolmer's Girls. In 3, K. Alia Brown of Dintil Technical. In 4, Dejanay Stevens of St. Mary Technical. In 5, Anya Johnson Immaculate. In 6, Gabriel Lynch of Edwin Allen. In lane 7, Danae Bartley of Bear Technical. And out in lane 8, Yendi Dennis of St. Jago. And that completes the field for the girls' third semi-final.
Eastern champion from St. Mary Technical, young lady in lane number 4 is an
Yeah.
athlete that I have a lot of time for. I actually think the St. Mary
Well, she's
Technical.
one to watch. Definitely,
Yes.
she scored in the 100 meters. But Johnson as well. Johnson Anderson is a sister for our Kayla Johnson, former
She
double
is.
champion 2 years ago in class 4. So let's see what obtains. St. Jago athletes look also for her, and so to the Bear Technical. They should also be in the running for chances to the finals.
The girls are called to their mark. And off they go for the third and final semi-final in the class 4 girls. And quickly on the shoulders, Gabriel Lynch of Edwin Allen. But traveling well, still coming up to the last 100 meters. It's going to be a tight race, but they said Mary Technical taking control, Dejanay Stevens, but she's being chased by Edwin Allen and Great Technical, Danae Bartley, who will cross the line first. And coming through with a big surge is Immaculate Anya Johnson.
What a race by the young
Anya
lady from
Johnson.
Immaculate
Oh,
Conception High
wow,
School.
that was beautifully done by her. But the sure winner is Bartley. Danae Bartley of Great Technical, 25-4. And Johnson of Immaculate is second, 25-40. She got up very slow, came off the curb almost way behind Edwin Allen, very technical, that
Yes.
were in the front as the front runners. And look at these young ladies as they hit that 100 meters. Immaculate Anya Johnson, fourth behind or third, way behind them at the moment. Good lead from Very Technical at the moment. Edwin Allen in the mix, gentlemen. St. Mary Technical. But look at that surge from Anya of Immaculate.
So what you saw there, Trishana, was 4 ladies running, but two pairs each running different. Very Technical and Immaculate left it late, and they emerged at the top two because St. Mary Technical went out hard. So
And
did the
so did
athlete
Edwin
from Edwin
Allen.
Allen.
Yes.
And it shows you sometimes you run your own race.
Indeed.
And I
Indeed.
think we saw that from Marquise White last night.
Yeah,
Perfectly.
unconcerned
Yeah.
over the
Yeah,
first one, but
perfectly.
unconcerned in the matter that
He did.
he knew what he had to come home with.
But you know what's funny? Whenever you have to run against someone that's better than you or just as equal, you you want to be drawn behind them,
Yes.
right? It helps you to gauge them.
And
You
Yes.
can either
to
go
measure.
close to their shoulders and they still beat you, or because it's his teammate, he's also aware of where his strengths and weaknesses lie.
Indeed. I
And he
mean,
capitalized on that.
I mean,
big
they
time
train
last night.
together. They know each other.
Exactly.
They know the sort of form they're in,
Yes.
and they have a race tactics. And of course, Marcino Rose tends to go out a little harder than most of the other competitors, and he's able to hold on. But I think Marquis White knew that his strength is over the last 100 meters, and he was able to outpace the other competitors. And
Yeah.
it really, and I like what I like to shout about this young man. He has now gotten to a different level, all new level of confidence in terms of believing that he's backed his best and he's strong. And therefore, when you see him run, I think he's just so
Yeah.
zoned in.
And despite
on the
finishing
task.
second last night, it took nothing away from
No,
the
not
quality
at all.
athlete that he
Not
is.
at
You know,
all.
he was just beaten on the night. But
Yeah.
overall, where he's going,
Yes.
I think if he should look to pursue the sport once he completes university, I can see him
A
doing
bright
well
future
and,
ahead of
and
him.
really being a part of that 400 meter school. The next event on track is the Class 3 girls 200 meter semifinals. Top two will advance the next two best time to that finals. The record set by Kevona Davis back in 2017, 23.07 seconds. In lane one, Janelle James of St. Andrew High. In two, Mayor Oakley of Homo Technical. In 3, Trishan Grant of St. Jago. In 4, Daniela Dixon of William Knibb. In 5, Kavina Bourne of Port Antonio. In 6, Kalila Lewis Satchel of Edwin Allen. In 7, Anika Carnage of Hydel. And out in lane 8, Sienna Wilson of Convent of Mercy Alpha.
A little surprised that Wilson has been drawn on the outside because she ran well in the
In the heat,
preliminaries. But
yeah.
again, it shows so it likes of Born of Port Antonio. They ran the races and they all won, and that's something I want at least to understand. Even if you win your race, if your time doesn't match up, because now the computer does the seeding and the draws. If your time is not as quick as the at least one there each, you're going to be drawn on the outside lane, which is considered to be the better lanes for the ones who qualifies into the semifinals with the slower time, despite winning their heat. And I guess that's why Wills is right.
Wouldn't most sprinters like to run from lane 7 or lane 6 in the 200
Depending on
meters?
the sprint and the quality.
And yeah, your preference, because sometimes they'll tell you I rather a certain lane. But let's look to Bourne from Port Antonio. She's gonna make a flyer on this one, but let's hope she can hold on.
She got off to a very poor start.
So, Houghton Carnegie of Hydel, she got out very quickly, and the ladies are coming onto the straightaway at 100 meters. And just like Shane said, there goes Port Antonio Kevina Bourne, and she's in full control despite a slow start, and she's separating herself from the field nicely, and she's pumping to the line, making sure to secure that win, and also hopefully can land in a better lane for the final. And she's all smiles.
She's full of confidence.
Natural.
She's
Never
just
any doubt.
bubbly and lively and bringing all of Port Antonio with her to championships, representing the parish well.
I mean, she, like McLean from Fogo Road, enjoys running. I think you'll never see them finishing a race without smiling. They just enjoy running. And Bourne, what I like about her, she's just a natural is in terms of how she gets into her running. When she's done, she doesn't concern herself about who she's running again. She just goes out and she gives it her all. And I am excited to see, because she is still developing. I remember the first time I saw her, she looked even much more awkward than what she looks now in terms of running mechanics. And I'm seeing where things are looking brighter for her in terms of her development. And I think when she gets into a higher class, Shoshana, she's going to be one for watch if she stays at Port Antonio. And I hope she stays right there.
Absolutely.
24:08 for Bourne. She had the Bourne ultimatum. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh, yes.
Trishana Grant from St. Jago, 24.77. On the bubble, Kalila Wilson Saswell, 24.80 of Edwin Allen. Critical points for Edwin Allen championships. It's a challenge. They will need athletes in the finals.
They do. They've had a few hiccups, nothing major at the moment, but you want to start, closing down the gap on a lot of things and put the lid back on that container. And I know they'll want to start doing so by advancing to the finals of various events today. But like you said, I think she's very prime. Again, I always have to use the word if she wants to,
Yes.
or if he wants to, because like I said, never assume that these athletes want to do the sport outside of high school or
And I
university
usually
college.
segment it, Shoshana. I just want to see you. Have you see what you do in high school? Because for me, sometimes I say to them, doing extracurricular activity, which this is, will help to make you rounded and molded to be a balanced student. So I hope she first thinks about going through high school, the Earth Sky journey, represents herself, represents her school, and then that's another bridge when you get thereafter to cross. I'd never pressure an athlete at class 3 or 4 or 2 even to ask what about the future, because again the future is so far away. They still have a lot to give now, and I tell them enjoy it now and don't think about what can happen in the future.
Absolutely. All right, the second semi-final for the class 3 girls, they are on track. In lane 1, Tracy McDonald of Hydel. In lane 7, Daniela Clark of Edwin Allen. In 6, Carrie Jarrett, the Western champion. Shania Campbell of St. Jago, the winner of the 100 meters on Wednesday night.
Yep.
See, days are mixed up. She goes out in 5. Jadine Patterson of Alphonsus Davis, formerly Spalding, she's in 4. Cheyenne Smith of St. Mary High in 3. Ashia Azan of Clarendon College in 2. And in lane 1, Taiwania Marchston of Knox College.
Emily's on Grant. I'm excited to see her. Ah,
Well, we have
I'm
a
assuming they asked them to stand, or I'm
Because
hoping.
that gun that second gun came so late though.
Right, yeah. So maybe they asked them to stand up.
Yeah.
And Clarendon College, they too, like you said, from the central end, having a really good showing.
And issues
And
on your side, I understand they have
um,
one champs already.
yes, they
So
have.
not many schools
Now
can
being
say,
guided by Maurice Wignall.
oh wow.
Yeah, formerly he was at St. Jago, and I think he
And it is
went and took
showing,
over
Shoshana,
Clarendon
because
College.
last night when I saw the likes of Obinio Reed in that 5,000, I was like, this young man has really represented Clarendon College really
Yeah.
well. And it's interesting to see we saw Trisha Tanika Moulton. And when you hear the name Moulton in that region, you got to be excited because I think all the Moultons who came through Great Technical, so to Open Technical, they were outstanding athletes. And I think Tanika might be from that lineage. And she's one to watch as well as she comes through the ranks from class 4 upward.
seems like you
Absolutely.
were both correct. The athletes, all athletes are still in the race.
Yeah, I think the second gun was a
Because of
signal
how
that
delayed it
something
was, it was obvious it
was
wasn't
off.
a breach of the
So maybe
start.
they asked them to stand. So hopefully the second time of asking will be much better for the girls and the officials as well.
But a young list from St. Jago, nobody really expected her to win, and that's why sometimes we say I'm not into the prediction thing, Shoshana. But I think she has won the 100. She has looked so much different.
I'm like that. I don't try not to predict. I just enjoy.
Yeah,
Mm.
I want them to come and surprise me. Like this is why I'm here. If we knew, I mean, there's nothing wrong for those
yes,
who love to do predictions, big
it's
up
a
on
part of the
themselves. It's a
sport.
part of the package. However, I don't want and then it go according to plan because that's not why we're here for 5 days.
It takes away that other element of the sport, that
Yeah.
unpredictability in the sport.
So I'm not sure what's the hold up. So just in case you hear us talking, still um, trying to figure out
So
why the official. Okay, they're now
incidentally,
asked
yesterday
to.
before the start of the class fours, there was a huge break in terms of the officials to start the 200 meters. And again, we're seeing a similar situation. The
Yes,
athletes
we
were
are.
on the track
And the
for a
girls are
long
being
time.
asked to do stride outs.
Yeah.
So it's the issue isn't the girls. For those just joining us, the 200-meter semifinals class 3 girls are on track. The second heat, and we see
Assistance
Mr. The assistant starter there.
beckoning to the others.
Okay, so it's Mr. Ludlow Watt. So I'm not sure the information he's maybe sharing with them. Because I think I'm seeing wires. So I'm not sure if the sensor, if the how
And,
close they
and
are,
interested
if
in
the
what
sensor is triggering because he's asking them to
the
go back
ones in the next
in the next
semifinals come to
semifinal to
step to a
to
certain
step back. So
distance.
it
Which
could be
interesting.
yeah.
I've never seen that.
You would have made the point before, Shoshana, that you do think that there
The
might be
sensor
issues
is
with the sensor, which would be
I think so.
contributing to the amount of false starts we've
Mhm.
been seeing.
The ladies are now on their marks for semifinal number 2, and they're off. And quickly out the blocks is St. Jago, the 100-meter winner Shania Campbell, and she will look to hit the straight away, but she's also being challenged by Daniela Clark of Edwin Allen. But look at Cheon Smith of St. Mary, always looking good. So it's going to be the winner, the 100 meters winner, taking charge of that one. Shania Campbell of St. Jago. She will win. Second, Heidel. Second, Edwin Allen. Sorry, that is Daniela Clark. And I think third will go to St. Mary Cheon
I was a little
Smith.
surprised that young lady from St. Mary's sort of
Eased off
eased
a
up
bit.
because
Right.
I think
There was no
she
indication
usually
that you're in the
finishes
clear. Much
yeah
stronger.
much stronger than that, and she made it to the finals from what I can recall, and really I was expecting her to be the one to challenge Campbell
Yeah.
for the most part.
Did a lot of the running early though. She
She
got
she
out
did.
very
She
quick,
did.
over 100 and about 20 meters, 30 meters.
And
She was in the
yeah,
lead.
and by this time the legs are weary.
Yes.
3 rounds of 100 meters. 2 rounds of the 200 meters already gone. So at this point, it's the fittest of the fittest. We're seeing, prevailing somewhat. But she's not out of it yet. For the people listening from the eastern end, she's not out of it yet because we
Still
have
has a
one more
chance.
semifinal to go. So she sits on the bubble after finishing third.
And Trishan, I made a point and off here. I was saying to somebody that it's sometimes a burden for the lower classes because they run every day of championships.
Yes,
They
they do.
started on the first day and every single day. Sometimes two events. Yesterday I was saying, imagine you having 200 meters each in the morning relay to qualify your team,
I
and coming
thought,
back for
listen,
400 meter in the night. That's a lot of running for the youngsters in class 3.
I'm at the point where I do not believe champs needs more than 5 days, but I think that we might need Monday to Saturday.
Yeah, yeah.
You just
And,
want
yes,
you
that's
just
a
want
serious
No,
matter.
no. Let me tell you, people. I ran at champs during all of this merger.
right.
So it's not like me did people me not that old. Me never run champs, so not just girls alone. No,
Yeah.
during the merger, and I did the 400 meters, the 4 hurdles, and
And really, this is
I did also the sprint hurdles.
yeah.
And the 4x4. So that's
Wow.
4 events. So like you said, running every day.
And
I
there's
ha-
heats and preliminaries on different
Yes,
days. So imagine
big up to
coming.
Mrs. Sharon Reed, the principal, former principal of St. Andrew High School for Girls.
Yeah.
They were considered to a lot of us, and gave us after devotion on a Monday. We received, some of us had to go home. You were so exhausted. The legs become weary.
Yeah.
Yes.
At that time, it's just all determination you're running on after a
Lactic
while.
acid has set in, and
Right?
the fatigue and just the
And I tell
stress.
people, I said I wasn't just running, and I'm a real competitor. I have a silver medal, so many of us just have make up numbers.
Yes.
You're tired. You feel the
You're a,
fatigue.
you're a hot in business.
Yes, I was.
Yeah.
Like him think me, I go said no. No, I wasn't. No, but no.
Yeah, but it's a reality.
A
Trisha.
gentleman here selling sugar cane. Thank you.
He's,
And I'm
he's
not
saying you're looking good.
Thank you.
And if that's a way of marketing for it to get to buy sugar cane.
You think no? I don't do.
But
I don't do much sugar, Do
but,
you?
but onto the point, I mean, that's natural sugar, but it's not my favorite thing to buy either.
Okay.
But I hope he says it all. But Trisha, I'm making a point. There's something that I have seen where smaller schools can struggle. When you have a big star, and I always say credit to the handlers who ensure that if you have an athlete who is multi-talented, do not exploit them, because again the schedule sets
Yeah.
you up for an exploitation.
It does,
It
and I
sets you
think you have to do. Coaches have to do a better job at utilizing it. Find somebody else to do it. Somebody maybe equally as good or just as good. They maybe won't win if that person would have won,
Exactly
but maybe
my
can
point.
get you a bronze
And
or
to score some points.
But we'll pick up more on that point. Heat number 3 for the class 3 girls. They're on track. Azaria Harris of Convent of Mercy, she's in 1. Tracy and Evans of Homo Technical in 2. Priscilla Johnson of the Queens, she's in 3. And they're off and quickly out of the block. Even break at the moment as they hit the last 100 meters. But Rihanna Scott of Ferncourt that picked up the bronze medal in the girls 100 meters on Wednesday, she is now taking charge of it. But look at Fogo Road, Shamika McLean coming through. Look at Shanika after winning the 400 meters last night.
And she has incidentally she has done competition on all days. The qualifiers for the 400 meters came up earlier. She came back for the final. She had the heats yesterday of the 200 meters, back for the finals in the night, and she's back here today for 400 meter duties. And again, the point I tell you, that not all athletes can manage nutrition. I can
No.
tell you, look at Evans from Open Technical in 2. She has a lot of running in those legs, and she's not usually at the back of a pile coming off a track, and she could not react because she finishes very fast. Thankfully, McLean is a whole different beast, and so to Ferncourt Scott. But again, I am waiting for us to get to the point one day of finding a way to minimize the workload for these youngsters, because these are class 3. Might I add, these are not the bigger classes, but they have to put their bodies to the work and to the line. Some of them running with straps on different parts of their bodies. It can be telling, but I'm liking what I'm seeing in terms of the fierceness of the competition.
Well,
Absolutely.
Rihanna Scott there from Ferncourt, 24.24. Fogo Road, Mika McLean, 24.30. Automatic qualifiers. The young athlete from Fogo Road, representing a school that people don't talk about when they come out to track and field, right? Some people are wondering, where is Fogo Road, by the way?
I think down in St. Elizabeth side.
Nursing construction in Clarendon.
Clarendon.
Says in Clar- says Nesta
One of the
Wright,
central schools
close
as
to
well.
Very Technical and Edwin Allen, and some people are saying where if will she stay or will she go? But if it's working, I say why if it's not broken,
My
don't
thing
fix it.
is, it was working for Abigail at
It worked.
Ferncourt. And what I'll always say is we can sit from this position and hope that they don't leave because it helps with the program.
Yes.
However, sometimes you want more than what you're capable of getting. But we will continue that because we will have the time to have some discussions. On track is the Class 3 boys 200 meters semifinals. The record 21.69 set back in 2018 by Adrian Carr of Kingston College. And they're off the first time of asking. So out quickly, coming up to the 100 meters mark. is St. Jago, Javon Findlay, but he's being chased by Rusty Stein Barrett. But Findlay, the silver medalist from Wednesday night 100 meters, pulls away and easily does it and cross the line to get that win.
Yeah, easy win there for Finley. He ran 10:67 in the Class 3 100-meter finals, a record-breaking final. He should be the favorite for the 200 meters. Don't see anybody beating him. The 100-meter champion from Jamaica College would not show for the 200 meters. So I don't think Finley should be in much of a problem.
But again, I'll tell you this though, Damien. So this is the tricky scenario. This is the event where the short sprinters, the 100-meter sprinters, and the 200-meter meets the 400-meter runners.
Strength versus speed.
Barrett is carrying a lot on his sleeve now. Barrett got disqualified in the finals of the 400-meter, where he was favored to win. And now he knows this is his only opportunity to win a title at the championships. Finley also will tell you he lost that 100 meters after coming as a favorite, and now he'll try to
Make
redeem
amends.
himself.
Yes.
So it's going to make for a lot of interesting matchup come Saturday. And as to who wants it more, yes, I think Finley has more speed than Barrett, but again, sometimes strength prevails over speed.
Absolutely.
22.68. McCoy from Calabar on the bubble. He will be waiting and watching and hoping that his time will be enough to get him into the final.
Absolutely. We go to the second semi-final on track for the Class 3 boys, 200 meters. And in lane 1, Jaden Smith of Wilmers. In 2, Tyler Reed, Herbert Morrison. In 3, Nicholas Jones of Lacovia. In 4, Kieran Gavin of Manchester. In 5, Rajon Rumley, the bronze medalist for St. Jago. In 6, Amari Walker of St. George's College. In 7, Andre Genius of Kingston College. And in lane 8, Malik Thompson of Camperdown.
Should be an interesting matchup here. St. George's has been doing well at this championship, so they ask me. I mean, may not be winning events, but I like the fact that
They're
coming
competing
back
and their
into
numbers are.
competitive running last few champs, they're looking good.
Not only are they competing, for me, the numbers. I tell people when St. George's College used to be spoken about during my time of competing in the 2000s, you had Tessalati that was really the standout. But the numbers for me with St. George's speaks volume that the boys clearly have interest outside of just Manning Cup.
Yeah, the
Because
program
schools,
is definitely growing.
Jamaica College, Kingston College, etc., St. George's College, those schools are such a force to reckon with. The schoolboy football,
Indeed.
you find a lot of times the boys enter the school wanting to be a part of that. And I believe that, boys should do multiple sports,
Explore as
and,
many
options.
options.
You know this.
Of course.
Based on your
Interestingly,
project stars.
Ricardo,
I'm happy of the
Ricardo
options.
Bibi Gardner came to Wilmers Boys School and he was supposed to be doing track and field.
See, and the rest is history. Sent away and out already on the shoulders, it's Ramley of St. Jago. And he's a medal winner from the 100 meters. And he has pulled away himself from the rest of the field. But coming through for a strong second will be Kingston College, or will it be St. George's College? But it will be Ramley.
Romilly started to pray
Give thanks to the
and
events.
give thanks before the race was
Because
done.
the clock was not helping him, so he was asking for help elsewhere, and there's no flash time on the clock. But Romilly looks strong there, Trishan. I think this young man is one for the future. I am liking to see what he can do over
Well-
400 meters because I just like the fact how he distributes at 200 meters. This is what you say, winning both ends of a 200 meters. I think he won the first 100, and then he came back to just destroy the field in the second 100.
Absolutely.
And looking like he was not even moving much, but he was going down that track with every stride he was pulling away.
I watched them in training, and I'll tell you this. Somebody said, someone asked me about, even Marquis Page, so promising as well, about these boys. And I'm telling them what I'm seeing from them, absolutely no surprises. They looked good in training, and they're now delivering. Disappointed that the clock wasn't running, but I'm sure we'll get the time because it could have been on the system. Maybe it registered on the system.
But
I'm not
on
sure. I'm
the clock.
not assuming anything. However, the top two are safely through, which Romilly and Kingston
Genus.
College of
Yes.
so Andre Genius. Third place
Yes,
went to St. George's College. Fast finish from him, Amari Walker, and I'm sure he will be hoping that he maybe would have gone faster than 22:68. to get ahead of Calabar, and Calabar Justin McCoy will want to hope that that time was not very
Indeed,
fast.
indeed.
I don't think he's gonna move until he finds out the time.
But my disappointment, are you disappointed about, I don't know. I guess these things happen.
I,
Them man-made and them
I'm
technical.
hearing
We don't,
new.
we don't
I'm
know.
hearing new nutrition. When I hear new equipment, sometimes I worry because I'm saying when you have new equipment, it takes a time, some time for you to adapt, adjust, and understand. So therefore, if the saving grace
Okay,
that they're
fair
new,
enough. Okay,
but
there.
if it's a familiar equipment, I'll ask more questions.
All right, we go to the next event on track, and that's the third and final semifinal for the class three boys. In lane 8, we have Ajani Wigan of Manchester. In 7, Emil Higgins, Kingston College. In 6, Rajiv Allison of Calabar. In 5, Tyler Morgan of Jamaica College. In 4, Amani Burke of St. George's College. And I think he's the one that first started in the semifinals of the 100 meters. In lane 3, we have Nikolai Blair of Herbert Morrison representing Heidelin 2, Kavon Minot. And in lane 1, we have Rasheed Devonny Jones. So this one should be good. I think we have the 400-meter champion in this as well from last night. And we saw Fogo Road Class 3 champion just finishing second to qualify for the final. And I'm sure she will use that strength come tomorrow afternoon to try and walk away with 2 gold medals.
Because that will be her final event. She doesn't
Yeah,
have
I
relay
just
duties,
might
so
have to journey down to Fogo Road Monday to see how they will celebrate that.
I'm sure you will be at St. Andrew High School celebrating with the
No,
girls for
no,
their
I'm a
performance.
journalist. I put my work first. They're on their mark for the final semi-final of the Class 3 boys, and they're off for the third semi-final of the Class 3 boys. And already out front is Allison of Calabar. Also, there is Kingston College Emil Higgins. And the boys are on the last 100 meters. Who will it be? Remember, it's top 2, short to advance, and pulling away from the field to separate himself for victory. Emil Higgins of Kingston College. And second place is really going to be tight, but Jamaica College should go through, which is Tyler Morgan. But definitely, no doubt about it, the winner, Emily Higgins of Kingston College, 23, 22, 35.
so no win reading been shown, but KC 1, JC 2, Calabar 3. Could that be the
Well,
order come Saturday night? Great match as well.
Kingston College have 2 athletes that have advanced to the finals. Genus in the heat before this one, and then obviously the winner of this heat making it into the finals. So Calabar has 2 athletes on the bubble, wondering if they will advance to the finals.
Yes, they are wondering, and we wait
They'll
to
be
see.
checking their devices. I'm sure by now the management team is checking because
They have to.
the semi-final heats are completed. So now it's time for the girls. As we speak, though, Shoshana, we're seeing some streaming of athletes from schools. Well, now we're seeing the athletes from Mountain View, Excelsior coming in. And I think they're the closest school to the campus. Probably Gainesville will say that they're the closest, but Excelsior is here coming in.
Yes, they
And
are.
as we get ready to see
The
much more of
schools.
this, where
Yeah.
schools will be
I
coming
know a
in.
number of schools finish today at midday.
Yes.
Would have just wrapped up and
Yeah.
allowed for. So, as we said before, dear listeners, if you know what champs is like on a Saturday, it starts on a Friday afternoon when the drums come in and the bands and the vuvuzelas come in, and very shortly in here will be transformed into a whole different environment in terms of the noise level and the excitement that we're seeing.
Carnival type atmosphere when the students are in the bleachers. Energy will be up. We'll be hearing a lot of vuvuzelas. I hope we will be able to navigate that. We'll be hearing the drums. We'll be hearing all those sounds. But it's good for championships. This is what it is about. This is what Champs is about. Champs comes alive on a Friday evening and a Saturday when the event culminates. Then you will be seeing other people streaming in. We see the Kingston College colors in full effect here. Calabar colors, the black and green in full effect here. Some Jamaica College sprinklings of blue. But we want to see the students. We want to see that kind of energy. in
I
the
agree
streets.
with you, dear Damon.
So
The bigger girls are out now.
yes, it's their time to shine. And I think the weather is playing with us, but I don't mind. It's not excessively hot compared to
The irony,
earlier.
if you look,
So
so this,
people, Ocean is a doctor, right? But me like to think him a slight weatherman. Whenever I'm working with him, I like,
Yes.
Ocean, do I need to be drinking more water?
He has
So I
a-
take the free medical advice.
yeah, But this morning before I came out, I heard we had 26 degrees Celsius in Kingston
Mm.
with an overcast sky, and I was like, for a moment, I'm not interested in an overcast sky on Friday
You want it
because
hot
yeah, I rather it be clear skies
for the numbers to
and
turn
the
out.
sun be a little bit more conscientious.
Okay, fair enough. I can live with that. My thing is, I love whenever the spectators turn out, and Jamaicans, we're not weather friendly,
Yes,
Yes,
brother
yes.
Ghost.
right? We're not weather friendly, which is
Once
fine. But we get back to that. The girls are off for the Class 2 girls first semi-final. Already on the shoulders, we are seeing Wilma's girl, Natrice East, the silver medalist from the 100 meters on Wednesday night. And she's pulling away from the field nicely, but she's been chased by Sashana Johnson of Idel. And it's going to be a dash to the line. Who will it be? But Natrice East, Heidel, who will it be for this one? I think Natrice East,
It looks to be Johnson
just
from my vantage
to
point.
point, yes.
Johnson
They
is
were so
really
close.
was really motoring to catch East. This is just the semifinal, listeners, but I think Johnson means business, and East was not yielding, but Johnson managed to get by her. And I think what has probably inspired this young lady Johnson is the fact that last night in the 400 meters, she gave us a show along with Nastasia Fletcher.
indeed,
Yeah.
the Quidnella in the 400 for the Heidel team, making it into the finals. It's going to be big with points on the board there. The young Wolmerian is her first year in the class, and so she's coming up in the ranks as well, and she's doing her stuff. But we all know who the favorite is to win the 200 meters.
Yeah, 23.57 for Johnson ahead of East. So those two are secured into the final. Positive 0.7 meters per second. The wind reading. So even with the overcast skies, the wind reading is working in advance in favor for the athletes. So therefore, it's not too much of a struggle to run in these kind of conditions for the athletes. So we'll have to sort this data times out in terms of the immaculate athlete and the woman technical athlete. That's Madison Campbell, along with the young lady from Immaculate. Those two will be waiting. Kimberly Wright from Immaculate will be waiting to see if their times hold up for the final. So those times come back to us now. 23.59 for Natrice East, Kimberly Wright 24.01, Madison Campbell 24.49. So those two will be on the bubble. So reminder listeners, top two from each heat, but then plus the next two by time will made it through. So one heat down, two more to come. So it's going to be a mighty long way for those two athletes.
Absolutely. And this one will provide as much excitement like the first semi-final. In lane one, Yavada Hales of Camperdown. In two, Keelan Smith of Holy Childhood. In three, Casey Joe Davis of Knox College. In four, Triciana Cohen of Heidel. In five, Shanika Lindsay of Alphonsus Davis, formerly Spalding. In six, Shanoya Douglas of Mushet, the gold medal winner for the Class 2 girls 100 meters on Wednesday night. Carol Etney, who was a finalist in the 100 meters for Edinallen. And in lane 8, we have Kaylee Graham of Mount Alvernia. And this is semi-final number 2 for the Class 3 girls event. 22:72. The record set back in 28 by Kevona Davis, formerly of Edinallen.
I'm going to say it now. I think that record is on borrowed time. I think that record is on borrowed time
You
because
think so?
Young Douglas, world under 20 bronze medals over 200 meters. I think this is an event that suits her
The
the
best.
most.
Yeah. It
And I
allows
think
her
with what
to-
if what
yeah.
judging by what we saw for 100 meters, if she's recovered sufficiently and ready to run Trishan, I think she's going to put down a mark that is not going to be touched in this class. Consider she advances to class 1 come next year.
Interesting.
Absolutely.
We're about to see.
Yeah. Maybe not now, but come tomorrow night, tomorrow afternoon. Ladies are called to their mark.
Oh,
And the Mount Alvernia Kaylee Graham seemed to,
Might mean problem there, but
yeah, and she's aware.
that's the official's business.
She moved out
And
just a
people are
bit
saying,
before.
Trishan, that the athletes are helping the officials so easily by their
They
body
do.
reaction. But again, I tell persons, whenever you're dealt with a disappointment or you know you have erred, it's hard for you not to show your emotions. We do it from time to time. And I mean, you're probably just hoping that this not on your part, but she's now out and it's going to be 7 that will have to face the starter. Mount Alvernia, good school, likes of Cameron Nelson, and now to know that there's no representation for them in the semifinal might be a little bit hurting.
definitely is.
So 7 to face the starter, second time around.
As the rain begins to show itself again.
Off they go, and quickly out is Edwin Allen Etney, but she's being chased and passed by Shanoya Douglas. the champion for the 100 meters, and quickly got on the shoulders and off she goes, sprinting brilliantly to the line. Sprinting, she's racing the clock. She's moving away from the field. Oh, and she slows it down completely.
I think she forgot the instructions for a moment there.
She didn't listen to what you were saying.
I think the stadium announcer brought it back to her because she's probably saying the coach probably said give it just about 60%. But Shania was beginning to motorway to Shannon, and for a moment she recognized, oh well, I should not be doing this right now, and she just decided to walk it. Literally walk the last 30
She
meters.
was about to put on a party.
I am wondering.
was-
I mean, she was
whole
looking for the
stadium-
bed, wondering if the pillars were set, ready to go in and wrap up herself because the rain is coming down. She just coolly crossed the line.
She was in record breaking form. She had about 70 meters to go, and the clock was not yet at 20.
Exactly. And Trishan, we have seen this in the past where athletes will tell you they go for the record in the semi-final because
Okay.
come the final, all they do is secure the bacon. And I think for
I
a moment
prefer
there,
that.
she was
I prefer going for the record early, but I'm not a coach.
Yeah,
You,
because you
you
run.
all know by now that's my favorite line. You don't know my favorite
And none
line.
of us are, by the way. ladies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
none of us are
Damien,
coaches
I don't
yet.
know if you're new here. I declare my hand. No. What the men can get, I cannot coach.
Yes.
I just
But I would suggest, I would have recommended.
in a situation like this where you're not
Go
under
for
any
it.
pressure, go for the
Just
record.
handle it.
And
And
she
the
was in
win-
record.
And the wind
Record
is
breaking.
cooperating to well, at this
Exactly.
point,
It's
we don't know
cooperating.
what will happen come tomorrow. I think that was a missed opportunity. But again, I think she should have been running to instruction. For a moment, forgot that she was told how to do this. And once the stadium announcer began to say it was Shanoy against the clock, instantaneously she came to grind to an halt. So therefore, something probably is reserved. And we're not doubting, listen, that she can come back tomorrow and do even better than we saw here. We're not doubting for a moment, but we're just hoping that she could have probably spiced something a little bit and
I
give
think,
us a record today.
and I agree with you. I agree with you. But like you said it best.
Yes.
I like to savor the moment
Yeah.
when I'm able to do something
Yes.
because I'm not sure what can happen. And the perfect example, twice it happened in the 100 meters. Not to say the 200 meters will have the same situation. Gary Card
Yes.
and Shanoya Douglas and
So
also
Docker,
Sabrina Docker.
they were-
Yes.
Three could have gone in record-breaking moment in the semifinals and backed off. Returned to the finals thinking maybe they would have, and they didn't. But they're on for the final semifinal, the second semifinal. This is semifinal number 3 for the girls, and looking beautiful at the moment. It's Excelsior, and you're hearing the support for Brianna Brown. And even though she's been challenged by Justina Williams of Bear Technical, she'll cross the line first. And you're hearing the big support from the Eagles supporters. They walked up very early,
As
and
I
they
said-
already in the bleachers, and they're used to the area and the weather conditions
Yes.
because they have a lot of umbrellas.
Yes.
Yeah, they came prepared.
They came
They
prepared.
came prepared.
And what a beautiful way to welcome them. I think Brianna Brown was aware that they're here. So she stood on the back stretch, on that back stretch, just right across, opposite to where the group is situated. And she ensured that Excelsior will be in the final. Despite the effort from Justina from Bear Technical, she ensured that Excelsior, the Eagles, will have their day in the sun. And good running from her.
Very
Strong
strong,
athlete.
very strong athlete.
Yes, she is.
Very powerfully built. Used their arms well coming around the bend. Executed this race really well. Good look for the Eagles from Mountain View Avenue.
So Damien, I might have those 3 athletes are 2-4 combined athletes, including Justina Williams and Britannia Bailey from Omu Technicals. And I said it before, sometimes when it's endurance over speed, because they are all quality 400-meter runners, and they brought it to the party this afternoon. in
You
terms
could
of
see
it.
it.
Yeah.
That
could
they
see.
did. That they did. Yeah. So quickly before we get to the class 2 boys, so like I was saying, I am not a coach, and
Yes.
I'm declaring that. But like I said, I like to savor the moment of when you can do something.
Yeah.
I'm not saying the athletes were going for the record in the 100 meters final. I'm not saying that because we're not sure. I'm at that stage. You really just want to go for the win. It's no purpose of going for a record if you're not securing victory.
Yes.
But I thought how they looked in the semifinals, if they were not to have decelerated towards the finish line. We
Yes.
could have seen records,
Could have.
especially for Lakova, Sabrina Dockery, and Gary Card, in my
Yes,
opinion.
Gary
Yeah.
Card in that
And
semi-final.
the same for Shania Douglas,
Yeah,
if
because
I'm being very
those
honest.
times they were in touching distances, and listeners, what we're talking about, the way they executed those race,
And where,
running,
yes, and mid race you saw based on where the clock was and where they were
and
and
they
their
accelerated,
capability.
they would have gotten it.
Yeah.
Indeed,
But
indeed.
again, the important thing is for me, I just want them to be having a good time, enjoying the
Yeah.
moment, getting their medals. The records will come. The times will come as well. They have no control over that. We're just being analysts.
I mean, but it sweetens the dish, and I'm being very
Absolutely,
selfish here.
it
But
does.
you're
China.
also a fan. You're
Because
also a fan of
A fan of the sport.
the sport, and you want to see.
You like the sound of records.
Yes.
Records. Because guess what? When you should have left champs, there's something that will stick around because they always remember the record breakers. And because of the quality of these athletes, mind you, I'd wish for them to just get a little extra. And what is the extra? Because they get the gold medals, I'd wish for them to get those records, even if it doesn't last as long as have seen some of the other records, just to know that they came to champs and just to show that the whole season's work. Again, we're not pressuring anybody and we're not the ones managing them, but we're saying just to make champs a little bit sweeter, the records could have helped the situation.
I agree with you. I agree with you completely.
Just a quick acknowledgement of our sponsors again: Grace Kennedy Remittance Service, Western Union supporting the future of Jamaica athletics, and Grace Foods, the good food people. Yeah, man, we can't do this without the sponsors, ladies and gentlemen. So thank you so much to all our sponsors. Big up Shoshana and her following, her 1.5 million followers on Instagram.
Only if you would not see me.
Uh,
Kept it off your book appointment.
it sounds like he has some confusion. I say
Don't
something
see
over here.
it. Don't see it. Working on it.
Yeah.
But we go to the next event on track, and that's the class 2 boys 200 meters semi-final. Top 2 advance. The next 2 best times. The record set back in 2016. I don't know if it made me old or the athletes them old. Christopher Taylor back in 2016 ran 20.80.
Yeah.
Wow, it seemed like yesterday.
And I know he's tuned in because I saw him on social media posting those 200-meter races. But I wonder what they think of themselves, though, Shoshana.
20.80. Yeah, fly, man.
Yeah.
But in lane 1, we have Annie Jones of Clarendon College. In 2, Balfour Thomas of St. Catherine. In 3, Ched Brown of Calabar. In 4, Chadane Lewis Petersfield. In 5, Jason Peter Kingston College. In 6, Kyle Thompson Jamaica College. In 7, Requil Reed of Cornwall College. And in lane 8, Akeem Onigam of Makati.
Peter looked very good in his heat, and I expect him to come out really well in this one.
Been solid all championships, so I expect him to maintain that sort of form. But this could be anywhere. Reckon Reed also of JC is one that will ensure that he gets himself into the final. So they're going to send him off. Looks to be an even break. Reed already from Jamaica College steps up and he's motoring coming off that curve. He has to challenge on the inside, the athlete from Calabar and so too from Great Technical, but it's all about Raquel Reed now being challenged by Kingston College, and look to the man from Petersfield that's leading. But look to the man from Kingston College that comes through now, and we take this one. Peter establishes himself as 1 to 21.75. Late burst of speed there, charging through the middle, and to ensure that Kingston College has nothing to worry about. Positive 0.4 meters per second for Peter. He is not going to leave it and leave us in any slumber to watch for times. He's ensuring that Kingston College gets in, and it does so comfortably ahead of Lewis there in second. And the early leader, Reed from JC, faded badly, but for sure, Peter and Lewis are the 2 that are into the finals. And we'll tell you quickly, 21.84 for Lewis, Thompson 21.88 for third. Those are your top 3 for now. 2 ultimately into the final. The other will wait for the time and the placings to sort themselves out. But again, we saw 2 different races there. A man who believes in his ability and his strength.
Super confident.
Because Peter is a little dynamo. I don't know where they have gotten him from, but if you watch how he executes that last 100 meter, it tells you that is all power packed in a small package. And truly, he delighted. He woke up the Casey crowd for a moment. I thought they were sleeping. But let's tell you officially time, 21.74, 21.84. Kyle Thompson, 21.88. Chet Brown, 22.14. Raquel Merido led for a good push and faded badly, 22.26 in fifth. And he'll surely not be in that final. But KC,
Peter, Very
is
confident. Saw
holding
him in
strong.
his heat, and his timing. He was in sixth position coming into the last 100 meters. But the confidence that you spoke about earlier, very confident athlete, went into overdrive, got past his competitors, and was able to finish off that race. I think that he is one of the class acts of this championship. People talk about Kai Kelly, and I spoke about his form in that Class 3 100. Peter is very impressive in terms of how he executes his race. He's never out of the race because of the top end speed that he's able to bring to the fore in the last 100 meters.
Absolutely. So, and we're going to move to the second semi-final section. As Shona tells us, those who are listed there.
And it is raining here at the National Stadium. Hopefully that doesn't deter those on their way and will be seated inside the bleachers.
And
They'll
you would
make
not
their way
believe that
down.
if you look to your left, because sun is shining,
Yes.
not too far from the stadium, while at the stadium
I
it's
like to
raining.
say Ligani or
Yeah.
Jacksonville side, as we're seeing it. But misty, it's nothing heavy. So if you can walk with your umbrella that is friendly to come through the security, that would definitely help you if you're making your way to the National Stadium and will be seated in the bleachers or even the grandstand, depending on where you prefer to be seated. But we go to the next event on track. In lane one, Rashawn Dunn of St. George's College. In two, Tahim Thompson of Edwin Allen. In three, Ronaldo Francis of Calabar. In four, Revon Black of Denby. And the SE is there. In five, Malik Dennis of Jamaica College. In six, Sebastian Ellis of William Nib. In seven, Usain Bernard of Petersfield. And in eight, Zachary Rowe of Arden.
So them they're looking to score some more points. Courtesy of Black. Black was in the final last night, missed out a medal in the 400 meters, but he's also a good quality sprinter. So let's see what he does here. The light drizzle, but they said Jamaica don't have drizzle. Light rain doesn't seem to be hampering the athletes that much because it's an all-weather track, and by all-weather we mean rain or shine business. The business continues, and that is boys and girls champ semi-final two, and they're gonna send them off. Look to the young man Bernard from Petersfield. He goes out best of all, and not too far behind is the young man from JC. So to Black from Denver, but it's all about Bernard trying to hold strong. But look at the man from Calabar on the inside. So to JC. Those are the two that's gonna be battling all the way. Bernard tries to make another move, come back to them, but the man from Jamaica College wins that one. 19.37.
I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure
I
that
think
is
that the
not
clock
correct.
stopped.
I'm
The
pretty
clock
sure.
got wet and the clock stopped.
21.45.
So Dennis, positive 0.3 meters per second, 21.45. But Dennis, he also left a little late. Bernard managed to secure second, 21.49. So he puts himself in a spot now to ensure that that school of the legendary Usain Bolt will be there to steal some points and to make themselves known again, having a decline over the years, but they're still relevant. Francis faded back to third, 21.87. 81, sorry. Ellis finishes fourth, 21.93. With Black there for Denby. I know he's a little disappointed, 20 seconds, 22 seconds flat in fifth.
And we told you that it was raining lightly, but
But it hurt
it
us
hurt us
because
getting too excited.
it hurt us. And again, sometimes the elements knows how to respond because you'd not believe it. Some sections, if you look up in the sky, you're seeing blue skies, and
Yes.
some sections is dark clouds. But what we can tell you, the rain is coming down heavily. As you see,
Yeah.
the bleach is as now trying to get into those exit tunnels to ensure that they are not too soaked. But again, sports has to go on, and again, this is a good training for the young athletes because when you get to the likes of the World Championships and the Olympic Games,
World
the elements
Juniors,
does not stop
World
competition
Youth Championships, etc. The party
unless it's
continues.
unsafe. So let's tell the listeners, unless it's unsafe, like say for example, the high jumpers, that surface has been is a little bit technical, so they'll stop those competitions. The throws as well in the ring, they'll stop those competitions. So to the less of the jumpers on the runway because
And I'm looking to see, depending on how the others take off, if they will halt it just a bit.
yeah, because
Yeah, because the boarding which they have to hit gets a bit slippery,
Slippery.
as
Right.
well.
and you
Correct.
want to make sure everyone is treated fairly. We go to the next event on track, semifinal three of the Class 2 boys, 200 meters. So it's the top two that will advance. The next two best on times. In lane 8, Khalil Archibald of Edwin Allen, who first started in the 100 meters semifinals. In 7, DeAndre Myers Woolmans. In 6, Nasir Norris of Campion College. In 5, Jaden Collins, Homewood Technical, a medalist from the 100 meters on Wednesday night. In 4, Azrael Allen of Kingston College. In 3, Tyrone Walker Excelsior. In 2, Akeem Austin of Herbert Morrison. And in lane 1, Kevon McKenzie, St. Jago.
So the starter calls them to the mark. Collins of Homewood Technical hunting for a second medal. He should be one to watch here. And he guns and send them off. So quickly, the man from Homewood, yes, moves quickly. Collins, that is. And not too far behind is the man from Kingston College. But it's all about Jaden Collins. Collins of Homewood Technical leads them into the home stretch and he's powering away. Gets into his running now. Didn't challenge on his inside, on his outside. But he's trying to hold. Look at the man coming on the outside. Look at the man from Campion. But it's all about Collins, 21.55 from Homewood
Collins.
Technical, barely holding on for his life, finishing in 21.58, running into a minus 0.4 meters per second. Myers coming to for second, 21.63, and the Kingston College athlete there, who for a moment's time I thought would have gotten him, Allen, 21.72, finished in third. So definitely you'll have to wait to see if the times get him into, but Collins ensured that he did most of his running. He looked a little bit ragged and looked like he was giving more than I expected of him. But the young man Myers looked so comfortable. Myers of Wolmer's boys, it is saying that was given second, but I think it's Morris of Campion College that should have been credited based on
So
the
I think
uniform we're
yeah,
seeing. It has
it's
to be,
Campion College. It's impossible for it to be Woolmer's. Woolmer's was in lane 7.
and if
Matt Norris of Campion College in 6, which
in
was
six.
very much closer to Collins. So which they have now corrected.
So the
Okay, so
correction
the
has been
board,
made.
yes.
21.63 from Matt Morris. So those from Campion were listening and saying, "How come this is not what I'm seeing on my television?"
So
Now you
Campion
can look
College
to see.
with a finalist in the 200 meters class 2 boys that will go off tomorrow afternoon. But guess what? We're up on a break. Don't go anywhere. We have more semifinals to come and things happening in the field events. Halted a bit because of the weather, but don't change the radio station. Then we'll soon come back. Welcome back to the National Stadium. We are here on the penultimate day. The 200 meters are in action, and we are at the Class 1 girls section.
Grace Kennedy Remittance Services. Just want to make a shout out to our sponsors once again before we get back to the Class 1 girls. Western Union supporting the future of Jamaica athletes, and Grace Foods, the good food people. So, Shana, we had another false start.
Yes, we did.
Well, it's a break in the start.
It's
We're
a
not too
break.
sure if it's a false or faulty start. The ladies were there for an enormous period of time in the rain. I don't know, a lot of them might not be liking it because, again, it's hard to stay warm in the rain, standing. And for the listeners, we had a good downpour, a sizable downpour just now. Thankfully, the skies are clearing up. But the ladies were out in the rain, warming up in the rain, but had to stand for a protracted period before the gun was fired, and now they are standing again. I guess the officials are trying to sort themselves out. But thankfully, we have the sponsors like DPH. If they catch a cold tonight, they can get some remedy because
And if you're just joining us, I have Trisha Mogo, and that is not a doctor. Shane Hudson is a doctor, and you heard him just now about DPH.
DPH.
Okay, so the card shown to Sabrina Dockery, the 100-meter champion.
Is that a red card?
and I said it off here. I said it off here.
A red card.
She got out of the blocks pretty quick, and I said like we saw
This
similar
one, this
in
one
an
is going
event, and I
to.
know
She's now in
was-
shock.
she was
So
bang
I'm
on.
waiting to see the replay.
But from the naked eye, Trishana, I saw her leaving
So
first,
two,
but I was
two
hopeful.
girls shown the red card. So let me clarify that. It's not just Dockery. So lanes 3 and 6. So Dockery.
Have we ever seen that? Because I think the rule suggests that the one that moves first, unless both reaction times were dead exact. It's shocking that two has been thrown out of this,
So it's Chevian Shim of Immaculate,
along with Dockery.
along with Sabrina Dockery, the 100-meter champion.
And I think this has happened to her before, Trishan. I might be wrong, but I'm almost certain she got tossed out. Could it be last year?
Yes, it was last year.
She also fought
the
that and
thing
she was
is,
in
yeah,
tears.
but and even before the year before that, so she has
Wow.
she's a repeat offender.
This one is going to create a lot of buzz
She
and
tends to try and
controversy.
get her start correct.
But I think she has done a way better job this season, and she doesn't. She's disgruntled, and she doesn't think that she false started, so she's
Complaining
now
bitterly.
complaining. And I believe every athlete has a right to, if they feel that they were treated unfairly. And Williamson comes to mind, and there's her coach. She came up to the stands to watch. She's back down, on track, and walking around to meet her because she too is in shock. That's Sabrina's
Wow.
doctor's coach.
Who was
Immaculate
hands down favorite,
and
Trishan.
Immaculate team, they too are wondering. So
Shem is a good young lady. She has been around for some time and she has been on the standard bearer for Immaculate. But the event's favorite in my book is now gone. So now it leaves wide open as to who will win the
so
200
two
meters.
shown the red card, and the others, and they're now asked to stand. Not sure what's going on.
And again, this is a delay that we were not welcoming at this
Her
part.
coach is now saying to her to go back over. I'm not sure if that is possible to do.
And sending the athlete back over doesn't always argue for the interest of the athlete because, again, you can also be ejected for being
When you
disruptive.
upset, you move fast.
Yes.
Where we are, everyone in the grandstand, we're at the finish line. We're top side, the extreme top
Yes.
of the National Stadium, in line with the finish line. If you have ever been to the National Stadium and familiar, and for the coach to have been upstairs, I saw when she came up, so I knew it was to watch the event, and for her to have make it down, and guess where she's,
The record
everyone?
must have set a record. That's a champ's
She's on
record.
the back stretch. She's on the back stretch.
She has covered
and
200 meters
yes,
quickly.
quickly.
I I think she's signaling to the athlete to stay. She might be going to the appeals tribunal because they have 30 minutes within which to appeal
Yes.
and to ensure that you get a chance to run. And then, Trishana, after this race is done, we Because we're now seeing a green card being shown to the field as a
So
warning
she's
to
walking towards the officials,
the
and
coach.
encouraging her athlete to go back down. The field is waiting. A green card is shown following what just transpired. And she's demanding for her athlete to go back in the race.
So this is
So this is
drama
about to
after
become
drama.
dramatic.
I
Because
saw this coming. I told you that this one is going to create some controversy.
but then
and some
Immaculate
drama.
will plead their case. We are
I-
in trouble.
exactly.
We are in
Yeah.
trouble. I'm
But can,
telling you,
but
we're
can
in
this be
trouble.
done though? Because the officials control the event. Can
The
she
event,
just
the green card shown is just for now.
For the
ladies.
right
Yeah,
post
this has
post the
nothing to do
disqualification, right?
with
With the two
Dockery.
athletes before.
So Dockery's coach is going over to plead her case that she wants her to run. I think under protest while they now go and launch.
and I
that.
think running on a protest doesn't obtain here. What she needs to do is to go and lodge the protest. So it means that Dockery can probably get a chance because we have another issue we can speak about Trishana when these are done as regards to young Jamal
She-
Stevenson from
Okay, so
KC.
based on what
from
we are
Calabar.
seeing, she's disgruntled and she's saying she's treated unfairly. She did not false start.
Somebody's calling her on her phone to tell her to go and lodge a protest
And
because
she needs to do so
that
immediately.
can work in your favor. And I hope she's aware that is how the
I
rules
become
of
so
them.
heartbroken.
It's a tough one.
Sadly, when you see these things because again, she
They've
is in
worked so
spanking
hard. They've
form.
worked really hard. But they're called to their marks.
There seems to be a
Don't set
start.
them up. It looks to be clean this time, and already the athlete from that looks to be from Idel on the outside. So to Omen Technical on the inside, courtesy of Abrina Wright is motoring, but Daly of Idel takes up the running and she storms into the home stretch ahead of Wright from Omen Technical. Belfield is also there, but it's all about Daly from Idel. Belfield and Isia gets in the second ahead of Abrina Wright after that long hold 23.48. The time for Daly 23.53 into a positive 0.8 meters per second ahead of Anissa Campbell 24.20 and Abrina Wright 24.35 rounds out the top three in this the first section of the class one girls. So after much drama and much of what we saw just now concerning the disqualification of Sabrina Dockery from Lacovia and so to Chevian Shim of Immaculate, the sun has now Trishana opened its eyes. It says all brightness in the stadium, but not bright.
You'd never know that it rained. It
Just now, and we
less
were
than
talking
15
about the
minutes.
concentration of water on the track,
Yeah,
but the
rain
sun
is
is now.
traveling. It's now heading to Papine, Jacksonville side, etc. But at the moment where we sit, very clear.
Beautiful.
Yes.
I mean,
Oh, wow.
the sun has come out in all its brilliance.
The giveaway that it really rained heavily is with the wet surfaces.
Yep.
Yes,
Yeah, it
but
never,
the track is now showing its glory. You're seeing the bright green and gold coming.
you
to
know,
its- it's like-
before we go to the next event, how can we consistently get it wrong year after year? And
Yes.
something we should have mastered. I'm not
Wow.
saying there won't be errors.
Yes.
That's not what I'm saying. Because that's just a part of
Human,
the
we're
package.
human, and humans cannot operate perfect.
Yeah, but the issues that we're seeing, especially as it relates to the starters and the
It's
athletes,
the same
it's
errors.
the same
for me.
errors, right? So
Year after
what are
year.
we doing to address
Suggestive that
them?
we're not learning from our mistakes, Trishana. And again, controversy is something that when you make errors like these that are questionable, and we're not saying listeners, we're not saying the officials have erred here, but we have seen other issues that happened, and we wonder what was the steps taken, were the correct steps done, was it the process, was the process handled fairly, was it done in a timely manner? These are things that concerns.
Here we
the
go
event.
again. Here we go again. And it's a
And you see, the thing is with the sensor, how it works, right? For
Very sensitive.
it is, I will hear, and then sometimes it's so low, so you're uncertain. And then you have those that don't hear at all.
indeed.
And whenever they say sound travel, how them say sound travel again, whichever.
Travels fast.
we
So,
know
but
that.
I'm just saying though,
You mean direction?
the
You
direction.
mean the sound
So
scientist
based
here.
on, so remember they're now on the 200 meters mark, and we have
Right.
been having the issue since the start of the championship.
Right.
It's not just the athletes,
Yes, I believe so. I believe
and majority of it, in my opinion, it's
external.
the sensor.
Yeah.
It's not the officials themselves, you know.
right. It's
maybe
something with the
system that they're
technical.
using.
Yes, I
So
think the
I'm
system.
not blaming the
Is it-
officials. It's maybe the system that they're using that could be the issue.
I heard that the system that is being utilized now is a test run for the Grand Prix that is coming up in another week or so. I'm not sure.
That
if
would have
is-
been a great disservice. though,
It's true.
they meant to-
But if
to
that is the
test
case,
running.
then that's an
Test
issue.
run- but
A
you have all
system
system.
at
You have
boys and
all.
girls
You
tracks.
have all of January for various meets to do so. Why no?
Yes.
That's a good
It's unfair
question.
to the
If
youngsters
in
because
fact it is true.
Well, what we know for fact, listeners, that the 200-meter section races have been given issues regarding start and the rate and the consistency about the start. Since yesterday, we saw it in the heat of the class where they had to sit for a mighty long time waiting for them to sort themselves out in
Athlete
terms of
in lane number 8 is being approached by the
that should be
official,
Abigail
and
Wolf.
this is Abigail Wolf. This is another
Wow,
top athlete
wow,
in this event.
wow.
Another situation where, unfortunately, you don't want to see the athletes who people come to watch at championships being disqualified. We're not sure yet what her
Right, because
reaction
we're not
time
saying the
was. We're
athletes
not
are
saying
without
right.
flaws, because some have false started and it has been very obvious. But there are instances where,
Well, for sure she's not taking it well because I said it, Trishan, and that they were there for a mighty long time waiting to get going. And just to come and get the opportunity and to be thrown out by a false start is really sad. And but it is what it is. The gun sends them up now for the second time of asking. Let's look to see what happened here. Shabana Grant of Titriel is also there. Total Shamanic Aza is also there. We see the young lady on the inside from Omi Technical as Danilo Lewis is also there. So to Junior Armstrong is a close match up here. Armstrong on the outside, Aza on the inside. Aza steals a march now, and it's all about Aza. Look at Armstrong come back at them now. Armstrong and Aza goes to the line, and it looks to be a backup finish, but I believe Aza might have held on ahead of Armstrong with Lewis from Omen Technical coming in third. So Armstrong from Edwin Allen 23.75, running into a negative zero point 0.5 meters per second. Is the second 23.79, and then Lewis 24.04 finishes third. So those two for sure will make it into the final. I think it's top three plus next two by time.
yes, it
So the
is.
top three are secured into the final. But we can tell the viewers and viewers for the most part. Yes, we don't have any. Did I say
Listeners, for the
viewers?
most part, we don't have any
Am I
viewers.
suggesting that
I
Omega is
mean,
going to involve one there?
you're
Well,
you're prophesying. I'm sure the bishop would enjoy the prophetic declarations that you're making right now.
Well, for the listeners, we can tell you that young Sabrina Dockery from La Clovia, one that would have been favored by many to win this event and to get the double, was disqualified from the first semifinal. So too Chevian Shim, let's not forget, she was also there. And instantly, well, also Wilma suffering courtesy of Abigail Wolf being disqualified in the so back to back in almost instantaneous fashion. We saw three quality athletes being thrown out of the event and thrown out. We're not using the term to suggest that any harm or heal was done to them, but because of the situation, the elements and the nerves and everything that was there, and as Trichana said, probably the sensors on those systems are working. So
And if it's not the sense, I'm one way as well.
something is working that's not working for the athletes' favor,
Long and short of it.
and really we want them to start it out because again we cannot look forward
And
to
it
have
can be sorted out. We have a day and a half. It's now only 1 p.m.
yes
So we have a day and a half to go for the championships.
yes
And I would want for it to be corrected
once and for all
as
because it,
best as possible.
it's sad for the athletes to know that they have toiled hard, worked hard, and to know that your championship ends with a false start. It's equally as disappointing as an injury.
All right, we go to semi-final one for the class one boys 200 meters, and it's top two from each, and the next two best on times. The record set by Usain Bolt, the honorable, the great Usain Bolt, back in 2003, 20.25. A long time him a run fast enough. Long time him running
Man was
fast.
born to run.
Yes, he was, and he took full advantage of that. And we love that he shared all of that glory in our national colors. So heat number one are setting up their blocks. We have some medalists and finalists from the 100 meters final that's contesting this semi-final, looking to get into the finals and add some points and more medals. In lane one, Tenny Daly of St. Mary High. In two, Tyrese Foreman of St. George's College, the silver medalist behind Gary Card on Wednesday night. Victoria Curtis, Monroe College. In four, Kimani Gordon of Calabar. In five, Joan Romaldo Smythe, Mushet. In six, Roshan Smith, Lacovia. In seven, Sanjay Seymour, William Nib. And in lane eight, Omar Jones of the technical.
While the athletes get ready, we see them doing some work on the track, trying to get some of the water off the track that was previously brought because of the rains, and that's good. That's good for the athletes.
And they've reacted quickly. I love that as well.
Well, we're reacting quickly here, but it seems like too many athletes are reacting too quickly to the start.
Well, I'm not sure. If it's well, yeah, some are actually reacting. Now,
But
let's
when
see
you know
quickly.
what has been one of the subject matter for this championship, Trishana, is the numbers. As somebody said, they are counting more false starts because this might be a record
40
It
plus.
at
might.
any championship in the
We're
world.
at 40 plus false starts already.
And that kind
And
of
that's what I'm
start
saying. It can't be the officials.
something is
Something is
consistently
happening.
wrong.
Something is happening. But we have to move forward. We're getting ready for the semifinals on track. It's a class one boys 200 meters, and they are ready for heat number one.
Young Smike
But
from
something to note, as we get ready for the final, that the KC Trong has arrived, and I'm not seeing any drums
No,
this
the
year.
drums team not reach it, or maybe it can't play another rain.
Well,
Remember,
well, KC.
remember, I was ready heavily earlier. I'm assuming.
But I assume this is a matchup because St. Hughes and KC usually match up, and we're seeing St. Hughes in their element and their numbers, and KC in their numbers, but there's no sounds and dancing and gyrating.
Soon
And
start,
we are
man.
guaranteeing you that the sounds will be here.
wow,
They're on the way. I want to assume it's the rain that maybe deterred a little bit of stuff.
and damper that. But what's not been dampered is the fact that the Class 1 boys are out
Yes,
and
they
they
are.
have better condition to run in. Thankfully, the rain came early, so they now can.
And hopefully no false start for all three semifinals. I'd love for that to just go off without an itch for the class three boys. Just on the mark, get set, go for all three. That would be good because the class one boys are they've been filled with drama.
Yes, true. I
They've
mean,
been filled with drama
injuries,
in every event.
false starts, disqualifications, run by yourselves. Anyway, if
It's
there are
like a
no
lot.
if
a
there are
lot
no false starts here, that would be inconsistent.
on the part of
and we're
everybody.
promoting consistency.
Because the seniors, Mark, the seniors have been the one who have sustained most of the fast starts,
They
which is kind
have.
of awkward because the lower ones are the new babies to championship, but they have been holding their homes and being very
Yeah, but
composed
that's the
and
thing with
disciplined.
discipline. It's like children in primary school, basic school, and kindergarten. Teach them the right
They're
thing.
easy to manage.
Yes, and they listen. These big boys and girls, not saying they think they know it all. I'm just
They're
saying
like Burger King.
sometimes they do.
They do it their
They
way.
do it their way.
No,
We're waiting for the start of the first semi-final. And in that one, Tenny Daly, St. Mary, Tyrese Foreman, St. George's College, McCoy Curtis Monroe, Kimani Gordon Calabar, Joan Romaldo Smythe, Mushet, Roshan Smith, Lacovia, Sanjay Seymour, William Nip, Omar Jones, very technical.
record in this event 20.25 in 2003 by
The
Usain,
great
the
man.
great man Bolt.
And you're sent up first time of asking, so that is a good sign. And out very fast is Lacovia Roshan Smith, coming off the first to the first 100 meters. But looking at William Nib, Sanjay Seymour, looking to sprint away. Tyrese Foreman all the way in lane 2 of St. George's College, but it will be Seymour of William Nib, the school of the man that holds the record.
20.75.
This young man was
Wow.
looking across at his opponents. He kept looking across, slowing down, looking
I think
across, slowing
he
down.
was looking also adjacent to the clock because he knew when he got away from the likes of Smith and Smythe that he had this one in the bag because he was just running with that sort of smoothness once he got by them. But 20.75, that's some good running there, Trishana.
Beautiful running. And when you look, Damian, at the field when they came on to the first to the 100 meters mark there on the straightaway.
So Damien was right. He glanced over to the young man from
Yes, he
Lakovia.
did. But they were pretty much even somewhat, and then
Yes.
started to separate themselves. Very technical, coming through for third out in lane 8. Ramalda Smythe of
We don't
Mushet
have to wait.
faded. But guess what? Remember, it's the top two and the next two best on times, and we'll give you those official times.
Official times on the clock. Sanjay Seymour, 20.75 from William Nib. Tyrese Foreman, St. George's College, 20.85. And Omar James, very technical, 21.04. Mr. Smythe from Mushet, finishing off in 4th place, wondering if he will make it on time. But I'm very impressed with the William Nib athlete. He looks very composed. He looks like he's ready to take the 100 meters for the first time the 200 meters for the first time at championship since Usain Bolt.
Yeah.
They have
And you
been
put-
riding on a high. I think whatever.
They have a big coach, them having now. He
Yeah,
was
and-
the one that coached Raciz to the top 10.
Exactly. He moved over and I
And
think
he moved.
with
So
some,
let me
some
tell you
quality.
about. Let me tell you some sus now. Not as in you and Rashid
Yeah.
to our listeners because that's why y'all are tuned in, right?
Yes, he did.
So he was at, and I'm going to tell you his name. I'm
With
having
Roderick,
a brain freeze. Yes, Roderick Miles. So I had a quick brain freeze. Roderick Miles was at Rossi's.
Mm.
And the coach at Rossi's at the time, the principal, sorry, at Rossi's, was like, who is this man, such a disciplinarian, carried the girls' team to finish in the top 10. Then the principal of Rossi's, he moved to William Nib as the principal and he said, I have to take you with me.
That's right.
And it's paying off.
That's right.
The second semi-final is on track and they're sent away nicely. First time of asking. And we're going to see who will hit the straightaway first, but hugging the curve nicely so far. Calabar Junior Gallimore and Edwin Allen Kendrick Austin. And he's looking to pull away from the field, and he does so. Junior Gallimore of Calabar, and he will take his feet off the gas pedal.
Look,
20.70, the flash time for Gallimore.
that was
And he's
an
into the
impressive run.
he's into the final.
Gallimore looking even more impressive. I mean, he shot it down from 120 meters.
St. Catherine will go through on to the
No
final.
one more happy than the young man from St. Catherine.
Ian
Baker
Baker.
there,
Yeah.
finishing second, coming with a late burst of speed to get that second automatic spot into the final. Positive 1.5 meters per second win. But for sure, there, the winner, no doubt, he had time enough to look across at his competitors and to ensure that he was safe, like so many others done in the past, ensure that they covered much distance earlier than their competitors and was able to cruise home. That's Gallimore of Calabar winning that one in 20.72 ahead of Baker. Baker coming from St. Catherine, the school of one Julian Alfred, we can say it like that, yes. And coming to on the boys' side, and you can see that he was really happy with himself because that was
And I
a
love
very
when the boys,
competitive field.
showcase their confidence.
Yes,
right? I love
definitely.
it.
Not lacking confidence, Junior Gallimore. 20.72. Ian Baker, St. Catherine, 20.98. Zachary Cox, Cornwall College, 20.06. Macallan Woods finishing out in fourth place there. This was a faster heat than the heat previous to it, so I would expect that the number 3 and 4 athletes would be looking good on the bubble, Shoshana.
They makes them nervous, but it's all a part of the package. This is why we show up to the championships. You want to see people, waiting, biding their time. Will I get in? Because it shows the quality, not just in coaching, but the quality in the athletes that's widespread. We saw Campion College earlier in the Class 2 boys having a finalist in 200 meters. You and I, and we were talking about Campion College with their middle and long distance athletes who normally does well. They always have that 1 and 2 athlete that pops out.
Theon O'Connor comes to mind.
But the truth about it, if you look at the Class 1 boys, you might find the likes of Casey on the outside looking in. But so far, they are not in the positions to get into the final. They have one last chance here. When you see the schools like Vera Technical, St. Catherine, Mushet, Lacovia, those schools are making into the finals. William Nib, and it might create an interesting matchup when we get to the
And
finals
that's
come
what
Saturday.
you want, to have the neutrals, having something to support.
Maybe
and
one
be happy
urban
about
area
it.
school because Gallimore is already there.
I'm saying sorry for them.
Not really, no, because I think we must learn to be kind and share the spot. So.
Grace is sufficient. Benevolence is
The
good.
third semi-final is off to a flying start. Quickly out, sent away. This is the third and final semi-final, but coming out quickly, Romario Hines of Monroe College. He will get onto that straight away first and look to hold on for the win, but he's being chased by Edwin Allen, Antonio Powell, but Antonio Powell pulling away from the field, but a surge from Kingston College to get the second place, and that's Markel Smith of Kingston College that just might have squeezed in to get that automatic spot. And yes, he did, 21.16 seconds. And that's how you get into a final. You have to dig deep sometimes. You have to get to work when your back is against the wall. You have to know finding it from somewhere.
I kept saying it, Shoshana. I kept saying it that it's easier to chase than to be chased. And Romario Hines, I think for a moment there, it wasn't.
But he
aware
ran brilliantly though.
of what was
Hines, so
happening
from what he
behind
had
him.
to.
Yes, so to Antonio Powell, they weren't aware of what was happening behind them because young Smith from KC knew that he had to do much more than he was doing coming into the home stretch to get into the final because the athlete from William Nib from Monroe College was there, and Soto Powell from Edwin Allen, they were all ahead of him. And I think the young man on the inside as well. So he was in fourth, but to see how he handled himself,
Antonio Powell from Edwin Allen taking that one, 21.11. Kingston College Market Smith, 21.16 automatic qualifier. Romario Hines, that's the young man we'll
have to
about
wait
from
to see
Monroe.
because it was a fast one. But you are right. On the inside was Green Island or Shane Jervis.
And I think by the look of things, Jervis also miscalculated his run because when Powell went, I think he eased off, probably suggesting that he was in a secured spot, not recognizing that Smith was closing with that burn up.
Yeah.
And really now will cause, because I'm thinking the times I'm seeing for Hines and Jervis might not be good enough to get them in. But again, we
Just might
wait
not,
for
but we wait for the
the
official.
official. But again, this is some classic competitive sprinting at semi-final runs because again, over the
Everyone
years,
is good and wants to be a part of that final, but I think you have said it best. Kingston Call, he had to do a lot of work to get in.
it was their last
Will he be able
chance
to
for the
repeat that tomorrow? They don't care. He's in the
He's
final
in
and
the
he can
final.
give them a point.
Exactly. So
yeah.
he's running for championships.
Tomorrow's final will not just be swamped with Calabar, JC, and Kingston College. We have Campion College in finals.
Yes.
We have a lot to look forward to. Antonio Powell, he looked really good just now.
Yes,
Yes.
very.
So
Very good.
he put himself in a comfortable position. And I know Leon Powell, head coach of Edwin Allen, he has been doing the work, asking the boys, just keep believing, keep working. And clearly something is brewing well down there. But if you're just joining us, you're tuned into the penultimate day of the Issa Grace Kennedy Boys and Girls Championships, and we're live from the National Stadium. And you would have missed a lot if you're just tuning into just champs coverage. But right here in Omega, we keep you updated from start to finish. And the last event goes off tonight at 9:10 p.m. And guess who will be with you? The Omega team. To come for the rest of the afternoon, if you're not here as yet and you're thinking if you should come on down, you definitely should. And while you're making your way, make sure you have the stations tuned in to keep updated. The 800 meters semifinals, and then we have the 4x4s preliminaries, and those finals will be contested tomorrow. The sprint hurdle semifinals as well to come, and we will close out. We'll go into the medley. Yes, we'll have the sprint medley, and those are preliminaries, and those will run about in the 7:10, 7:30 region. And then we'll close out the night with a 400-meter hurdles final, and those will be exciting. Take it from me when I tell you,
Yeah.
they will be
So those are the
really good.
featured events for tonight,
Yeah,
and it's rightfully so that the organizers have made those the featured events because guess what? 400-meter running globally is the talk of the track and field world because of where the event has gone. And to know that locally you can put it in the spotlight, it means it inspires the next generation. Because guess what? Jamaica has its fair share and its fair, its name has been etched in history as regards to our legacy at that world level when it comes down to 400-meter hurdle running. So really, actually, I'm really appreciative of them putting this event as the closing event on this the penultimate day and to allow the athletes to have their day in the sun and the huge turnout that we'll see here tonight will get to see some spectacular running over 400-meter hurdles.
absolutely. And you know, Jamaicans, they love the relays. They love the relays, and they're re-showing presently. We in the National Stadium on screen, they're showing the 200 meters semifinals with Sabrina Dockery. She was disqualified, and also Shim of Immaculate. Not sure why they're showing it because to our eyes, we're not seeing where she moved before
That's the
time.
thing. We're really
All the ladies
unsure
show
what
but
transpired. It had to
three
be.
eyes.
Yeah.
I'm not seeing anything
I was
conclusive.
about to say you're closer to the monitor.
Well, it's actually six eyes and not three.
There you go.
And we're unable to say definitively what happened, but it's a sensor that is going to tell the starter whether or not she moved earlier
Yeah.
than
What
anybody
is
else.
unique, though, ladies and gentlemen, is that both athletes have been tossed out, suggesting that both athletes had the same reaction time to the death.
And that's not
Because World
possible.
Athletics will tell you the one that has the faster of
The two,
the
right,
evil
right.
is the one that
Should
goes.
be disqualified.
So
So how you come by if you disqualify anyhow?
Yeah, that's
We
a
could
big
talk about
question,
other
sir.
things because the
What?
800 meters.
Well, before we get to the 800
Sure.
meters, there is the still outstanding issue of the young man from Calabar, the 100-meter athlete, young
I don't want to
Stevens.
talk about. I might cry.
But
but what have you
it's
heard,
still up in the
Ochushana?
air.
Because
We're not
I
hearing
heard
what's going to
three
be.
You
different
want me?
stories, and they say one
All
is
right.
the truth. What them say in Jamaica? You
Well,
hear
you know
go
what?
so in
Them
Hold
someone
that,
is
go
the
so.
truth.
hold that story. We're gonna have to take a break. It's Omega Radio. You're tuned into the right place. Don't go nowhere. We'll soon come back. Welcome back to the National Stadium. It's the Boys and Girls Athletics Championships 2025. And if we told you that the drums were not here earlier, well, the drums are here now. Kingston College and their supporters are here filling up the bleachers, and the festive energy has started. Just want to shout out Grace Kennedy Remittance Services, Western Union supporting the future of Jamaica athletics, and Grace Foods, the good food people. Shoshana O'Shea, the vibes, full vibes now in the National Stadium.
Yeah, no, O'Shane is very excited because he was asking about the bands. I don't want him to support Kingston College, but with the bands and the cheerleaders, they
Yeah.
do always bring the vibe.
Even as a fan and a non case, let me not say
No,
a neutralist, you enjoy the vibe that it brings because now champs seem to be gone to a different notch now. But the sheer part that now I think every athlete, my only concern is that the starting system, if it's giving issue, that now we have to be asking repeatedly for them to be quiet for the start. And I hope they do cooperate when that time comes. But otherwise than that, I am here for it. I'm just loving the colors. I'm loving to see now the build out in the bleachers. It's not yet to anywhere close to its capacity, listeners. But guess what? The vibe has arrived, as Damien said, and we still have a lot more. So if you're not here and can make it here, just keep the radio on Omega, as Trishan has been saying all week.
just a quick update on the point standings. Not much finals on track so far. But after 16 events on the girls' side, Alphonsus Davis, formerly Spalding High School, 22 points. St. Mary High, 22 points. Excelsior High School, 23 points. Wilmot's Girls, 25 points. Very Technical High School, 29 points. Immaculate Conception High, 35 points. St. Jago, 48 points. Homewood Technical, they were on 83 points. Edwin Allen, 84 points, and Heidel were ahead of the pack on 88 points after 16 events. The girls' side looking very close at the top, lady and gentlemen. What's your thoughts? Can we anticipate perhaps Edwin Allen being pushed to the limit?
Well, not probably to their limit because I think they have a bigger limit to
Yeah,
be
in
pushed
comparison
to.
to others.
But I think what is showing is that champs on the girls side has always been competitive. And when you have the smaller portions of the finals being scored and the quality that each of the three schools possess, it's going to be down to who wants it more. I think Ideal last night made a great inroad, and so to Ormond stamp their class in terms of what they are dominant in this season. But Edwin Allen also gave some resistance, and that is why the points stay with so close for these three girls' schools. And of course, we're going to see a change come a little later on. But for now, it is good for the interest of the fan because I tell you last time when those graphics were posted, everybody got excited all over again. Yeah, the Ormond fans were saying Ormond is for champs this year. The Ideal fans are saying Ideal is going to take champs this year, while the Edwin Allen fans are saying Edwin Allen will show that they can hold on and go for their 11th title. So all in all, these are what we want to see because remember, Dave, we're also catering for the supporters out there, and we want something to stimulate them, an incentive for them to come to the champs, just tune into us here on Omega Radio, and all together make champs a memorable one.
Indeed. Shoshana, you had Omo Technical finishing third.
I did, based on how they looked throughout the season. Just a quick prediction on. I think based on their numbers coming in, they should be able to have gotten the third position once they could have capitalized on their strong areas.
They're looking good for third at this point.
Yeah, but and I would not be surprised. I don't see Veer. I'm not sure. If Veer has the quality to surpass them to move into third. But I did pencil Veer for fourth.
You did, and what I'm happy to see is the likes of Immaculate Conception putting points on the board. 35 points for Immaculate. Good program going on there. We also have the perennial Woolmer's girls. They always feature actually in the younger classes. They are there and thereabouts for the Kingston and St. Andrew contingent, and that's always a positive. Your St. Andrew High School for girls, they are showing up in some semifinals, making it into the finals. So the talent is spread all around.
Yeah, when I did some features on my YouTube channel for champs, and I last year I did Edwin Allen and the schools vying for titles. This year I decided to touch some of the schools who are coming to champs, not vying for titles, just to hear their objectives. Immaculate wanting to finish in the top 10. St. George's College, for example, last year they finished in the top 10. Their objective this year is to get 100 points or as close to 100 points as best as possible. Andrews wanting girls to get into finals, get the girls who are well, to get into semifinals and build confidence. So, like I said, it varies across the board, and that's something that makes the championship even more intriguing to me because I know that the objectives of each school it varies.
And it has to be because people usually draw the comparison between the stronger teams and those developing teams. And the truth about it, every team started somewhere. I remember the days when Edwin Allen was barely putting numbers out for championships, and they gradually had to build, and whatever their objectives were had to be very strategic because each year they came and they tried to dominate in certain events, get into finals. And as soon as they became an attractive brand, they started attracting more athletes to the sport. And now they have the program and the biggest program on the girls' side in terms of numbers, and they're strength in numbers. Almost technical would have had that before. Very new that history quite well. So an ideal the newest of all would have also had that experience. So to say, Jago, and what they're trying to do every year, Trishana, is ensure that they maintain some form of consistency in the areas that look attractive because your hope is to continue to build every year and to capitalize on the strengths and to work on the weakness. And so far, I think with the kind of management, the kind of focus, I like that, and nobody's overshooting, overzealous, and going for unrealistic goals.
Absolutely. So the 800 meters, the semifinals comes up on track now for the class 3 girls, and it's three semifinals. The record 209.60 set back in 2006 by our national record holder Natoya Gould and our Olympian. And we
Don't forget the topping.
no topping. Yes, Natoya Gould, formerly of Manchester High School. In lane one, Kimoya Reese of Winston Jones. In two, Beyonce Kenyon in for Robert Lightburn. In three, Venetia Pommels of Manchester. In four, Nicoya Anderson Excelsior. In five, Ashley Shepherd Homer Technical. Six, Shamika Dennis St. Elizabeth Technical. In seven, Denicia Carter Alphonsus Davis, formerly Spalding. And in eight, Gabriel Francis of St. Catherine. And it's the top two that will shorter advance, and the next two will go through based on times.
It's something I'm observing. I'm not sure that leading into Robert Lapmont. She looks a little bit uncomfortable. I'm not sure if she's in any distress, but a moment there, I start reaching for her leg, pulling her back. I'm not sure if it's just nerves. She's doing most of the movement of all the athletes that are listed and
Could be
lined up.
nerves.
So, and again, Trishan, there's something that I don't, as I say, I'm a warm-blooded person. I do not like the colder weather because, again, it takes a longer time to get them warm, for them to
Yes.
stay warm, and to be ready to run.
And hydrated because
Yes,
it's so cool.
it will be
It's
a
a
false
false
sense
sense of
your
where
body
hydration is
state
concerned.
of hydration.
Yeah.
Yes.
But the ladies are ready, and I think they should know some amount of the rules. So let us see how they will go in this one. But for lane number two, she's the closest to her mark. So inexperience, I think, taking its toll on her.
And you're seeing it in some events where you're called to the set position, when they get to that line that holds them into that particular lane, some look as if they're gonna tilt over. And because as I said before, you'll watch international events, the learned ones start at closer to the blocks and they made that small shuffle or small run up to the line, get into a crouched position and go. But again, it takes experience and you will learn as time goes by. You see Pummels there from Manchester.
And the officials, we have to give them applaud them when they do the right things.
Yes.
And lane two, in which we're talking about, of Lightburn, Beyonce, she was too close to the line. So whenever they're called into their mark,
She would have gone
she would
over.
already gone over. The official came back, guided her, told her go back just a tad bit towards the block number, and she did just that. So
And we saw some strange thing yesterday. I was saying the track is now marked with numbers on them, listeners. If you don't know, stadium track never usually have numbers.
no.
So the athletes, a lot of the distance athletes went up to the numbers yesterday instead of where the blocks were.
And away they go for the first section of the 800 meters, class 3 girls. And if you're just joining, you would have missed the 200 meters semifinals, but not to worry. We have a long way to go on day number 4. And the 800 meters girls, they are starting the afternoon session for the track event. And they've made the first cut over and already looking to take the lead. Shanika Davis of St. Elizabeth also there, taking the role to set the pace. Ashley Shepherd of Home and Technical, right on her right shoulder, and Manchester, Venetia Pommels settling nicely into that third position, and they are looking to come around for the first 300 meters, where the leader still from St. Elizabeth Technical, Shamika Dennis, but she's followed closely still by Ashley Shepherd of Homo Technical. And the ladies are bouncing nicely. Moving into third position, St. Catherine Gabriel Francis. And the ladies are looking to qualify for tomorrow's final. And 1 lap to go, 400 meters, clocking 106. A bit slow, but doing just enough, I assume, to make sure that they can finish and
Davis
secure the spot.
Davis has taken charge of the race, keeping the race at her own
It's
pace.
actually Shepherd.
Oh,
Shepherd of
Shepherd.
Homewood.
Shepherd of Homewood, right?
Likes
She has taken
likes the
charge of the
front
race.
run, by the way.
So they're on the back stretch, 300 meters left in this first semi-final of the 800 meters, and she's looking to pull away gradually from the field. Shepherd of Homo Technical, Dennis of St. Elizabeth Technical still in second, Manchester Pommels of in third, and look at St. Catherine Francis in fourth. But the top three is looking to pull away from the field with 200 meters or less to go, and it's Homo Technical, Ashley Shepherd. She's pulling away nicely from the field, trying not to do too much, but she wants to make sure she's in that final. And they turn for home, and leading the way for the first semi-final, she will take it. Ashley Shepherd of Homo Technical, and look for second, Shamika Dennis of St. Elizabeth, and she's going home in fine fashion, not overexerting, so she will have enough to return tomorrow. Homo Technical, they're into the final.
Flash time 2 minutes 19.93. Ashley Shepherd. That's the name of my niece, Ashley Shepherd, who goes to Immaculate Conception. That's nothing to do with track and field or any other sport, I must tell you.
And the winner, 220. Dennis of St. Elizabeth Technical, second, 220.87. And Venetia Pommels of Manchester, 226.56.
I'll give you a little secret there. If you can remember that Shamika Dennis denied Ashley Shepherd a medal in the 1500 meters, and I can tell you for now that Shepherd has decided that for the rest of the championship, Dennis will have to finish behind her, and she ran true to that. She's ensuring that for the rest of the championship, it's all about Homewood before stats. But these two young ladies are two strong competitors, and I expect in the final it should be a strong matchup again because both are better over 800 than they were over 15.
Absolutely. And just to let you know, Lacovia, they've launched their protest regarding Sabrina Dockery. We're seeing their team together, including the coach, and they have gone to the appeal room, but making sure to fine-tune things and have their cash to pay. It's not done freely.
What is the cost that's attached to
That's a good question. I will have to find out. I don't
an
think
appeal?
I don't think
It's
it
not
costs an arm and a leg.
exorbitant because the fact is that this is not a world um, ranked event in terms of the parameters concerning cost. Is an extension of high school sports,
Yeah.
and then so therefore everything is
And they
done
would
within
have
the
known
capsule.
prior to coming what the cost would have been.
Right.
So the schools would, have their petty cash for incidents like these. The next event on track, semi-final number 2 of the girls 800 meters, class 3. In lane 1, Otania Williams of Manchester. In 2, Savannah Gobe of Immaculate Conception. In 3, Jonelle Davis of St. Andrew High. In 4, Nikaya Anderson, Excelsior. In 5, Romanian Gray of Edwin Allen. In 6, Takia Wilby of Heidel. In 7, Boriana Hamilton, St. Jago. And in lane 8, Bear Technical, Driano Freighter.
Some interesting names in this one. Briona. Briona. I've never heard that one
Briona.
before. Okay.
The names get more and more unique as they age. So I think there's a mix-up. They're looking to fix that. So in lane 4 should be Anderson of Excelsior. And in lane 5 should be Edwin Allen. So I'm not sure.
And that looks to me to be great. So the officials themselves seem not to have it figured out because there are 8 athletes on the track. But are we having the right athlete there? Because Shoshana, you can do math better than I do. We're seeing Manchester, we're seeing Immaculate, we're seeing St. Andrew High School for girls, we're seeing Excelsior Well, now we're sorting out because I think Excelsior actually was standing in lane
Right.
five.
So the ladies, the young ladies thought that one should have been in four versus five. Maybe what they were told initially, but the official came over and that is quickly sorted, and they're ready, getting ready for action in the second semi-final of the class three girls 800 meters semi-finals.
Top two sure to advance. The other athletes will be trying to get in on time. Who do we think should be the favored athlete in this one?
Well, it should be a matchup between Ideal and Edwin Allen. The young lady, great from Edwin Allen, has been looking good all season. She has really um, been one that they have to look forward to, but will be off Ideal. I think with that sort of name and that sort of fame that she has coming into this championship, she knows that everything depends on her now from Ideal. But again, Gobe and those other athletes from Immaculate, they've always liked to run with the bunch. And as we speak, they are all bunched together. And it can be just about anybody's race, but I'm expecting Gray from Edwin Allen to win this one.
Just about to approach the 300 meters mark, and in the front at the moment, Edwin Allen, the school from Frankfield, they have the leader of the pack in Romian Gray. Right on her shoulder, St. Andrew High School, and those two looking to go separating themselves, but also there, St. Jago, Gloriana Hamilton, and they hear the bell, so it's the last 400 meters coming up. This first 400 a lot slower than the first one, first semifinals, but it's not about the time. They're looking for placings.
Athlete from Idel kind of fading, currently
She,
finds
she's struggling.
herself in
She's
sixth
struggling at this
position.
moment.
I think she's managing well. Still 300 meters to go. Let's just see if she will be able to get back at once the pack doesn't leave her, or she really could be fading, like Damien said. But the ladies are on the backstretch. And Romy and Gray of Edwin Allen, she's in full control at the moment. Not sure how much or if anyone can challenge her to change that. St. Andrew High, also there in second, Janelle Davis. And Romy and Gray, she's pulling away from the field. She's looking to always open the gap. St. Andrew High still in the mix to get that top position. But look at Heidel moving from third position. She knows what is required. Will now have to sprint if you want to make it. Because
She might have,
remember, the next two goes by on time.
she might have given herself too much work to do. I don't see her overcoming the second place athlete from St. Andrew High School. Probably just running for the clock to try and get there on time. Well done by the Edwin Allen athlete. St. Andrew High School coming for second, and Idel finishes off in third.
And that's today adulation of one Shoshana Magun.
Our professionalism has gone out the window.
But there's something I like with Shoshana because just yesterday at work I was having a conversation with a colleague, and I asked her, why is it that the school is pronounced as St. Andrew
And
as
that's
opposed to St. Andrew?
Because we're stush.
So is there level of
No,
stushness that
no, we love
because
it that
I
way.
like the
St.
St.
Andrew-
Andrew.
St. Andrew High School for girls, the
for
one and
girls.
only.
Because I said to her, what school you attending? And she said,
St. Andrew
St.
High
Andrew.
School.
So I said, is it St. Andrew High School for girls? She said, no, sir.
St. Andrew.
She said that's for the schools at Bunker Road and the one in Crossroad, but for her, it's St. Andrew High School. But I just love
One
it,
and only.
and it's good to see that you guys can get on into the final.
Absolutely.
When they talk about the likes of Rochelle Burton and Megan
Chapo.
Chapa, Gabriel McDonald that left that school and went to more than then to Edwin Allen, those would have developed real well at and in your former in before those there was some outstanding athletes
Absolutely.
from St. Andrew High School for girls to know that Matthew Tapam, and we must give him credit because I saw him the other afternoon in Alpha Tree and he was on his scooter making it up Bradley Avenue. And I know he was making his way to the school to probably start out the final touches. And credits to him because he
Yeah,
has
he has
inspired.
been-
I've seen videos of him and those young ladies how they interact. This morning we heard a testimonial from one of the parents that of an athlete there, and they spoke highly of him. And I
Yeah,
like the
he's
fact
very
that
patient with the girls.
exactly.
For that, I'm very happy because each generation requires something different, and I think that he has settled nicely, and he's able to cater to what the school is looking for. and
Absolutely.
which is why, like we said just a few minutes ago, each school comes to the championship with different objectives. And I think based on some of the objectives between Matthew as the coach and the girls and the school, it's coming together nicely. But the next event is on track, which is semi-final three for the girls, class three, 800 meters. And we have in lane one, Raquala Walker of St. Catherine. In lane two, the Noya Scott of Convent of Mercy Alpha. In three, Carita Rose, Homo Technical, one to watch. In four, Alexia Palmer of Sydney Pagan. In five, Anika Lowe, Edwin Allen. In six, Chanel Henry Heidel. In seven, Natolia Robinson, St. Elizabeth Technical. And in lane eight, Althea Bolton of Belfield.
So I am just having a new love for the school Sydney Pagan. I mean, just to
Yes.
see, I think they came to championships probably with just majority. Let me just say majority of their athletes running 800 and 1500 meters, and they are doing absolutely well. They have gotten to this point, and this young lady here is going to be one to watch because she is also a good quality um, in this field, and I expect them to be in another final base when this is all done and settled. But let's look to Rose, as you said before. Edwin Allen is also there, so to the young lady from Ideal Stets. Let's not forget about them. They have been really a strong history in the likes of Junelle Bromfield. I remember those days when Junelle Bromfield ruled the 8:15.4. She was just absolutely untouchable in her campaign. So really and truly, States again is on a revival, but they are bringing quality runners here, and I expect them to continue to challenge and to chip away to ensure they maintain their place in the top 10 for Girls Championships.
So Raquala Walker went on her mark. She had the wrong foot in front based on the what we saw, but the official corrected her and they're off for the final section in the girls 800 meters class three. Um, and looking to have the first cut over. St. Elizabeth Technical, Robinson, Heidel Henry, and they're settled nicely. Rose is also in the mix, so the three up front, Heidel, Edwin Allen, Homo Technical, and the ladies are bouncing nicely so far. Moving to take command of lane one, we're seeing Low of Edwin Allen, and she will look to position herself to occupy lane one. But Rose makes it not an issue. She gets right on the shoulder of Low. So Rose of Homo Technical is right, very much positioned and looking to maybe get in front. The last 400 meters to go, and that is how you run the first 400 meters when you want to get a good lane. And they say if lane matter in the 800 meters, it does. Because remember, you want to be just in contention to have a good cut over the first 100 meters. The ladies are now on the back stretch, and it's Edwin Allen out in front with Anika Lowe, Homer Technical, Carita Rose. The two have gone away from the rest of the field with 200 meters to go. And both will look to bring it home to be the automatic qualifiers. Homer Technical, Edwin Allen, those two schools with about 170 meters to go. They're pulling away from the rest of the field. They've already separated themselves, but becoming more convincing. And the three,
I say the third place is someone you need to watch. He tends to have a late burst of speed, but this
but I
time
think
she
she has
seems to
left it too
tactically
late.
gotten it
Yeah,
wrong.
she has gotten it wrong because despite Rose fading in speed, St. Mary Technical
I think actually Sydney Pagan is not able to capitalize,
on
and
that,
we'll have
yeah,
to wait for a time qualification. But Young Low, as always been the case for her, she runs from the front, is very dominant in her races, and she will not have it no other way than she did, Shoshana, and winning in
yeah.
2 minutes 16.60 ahead of Carita Rose, 2 minutes 18.65, and Alexia Palmer, 2 minutes 20.56. We'll have, I think that time might be good enough to get her in based on the others that I've seen. So she's okay to be in the final to get another chance to rewrite those errors that she made just now. But altogether, good running from the class three girls, and Low, they're doing fantastic in terms of how she executed. And there's a raging debate, Shoshana, probably now is a time where we can look at this to see if we can settle it, because perspective is a huge thing, and also opinions sometimes matters. And persons have been saying that this young lady Anika Lowe, based on her look, she looks like or resembles the Clayton twins.
Yes.
And people are saying, and I am convinced that she has some resemblance, not an replica of them, but she looks like others are saying. They don't say,
Yeah,
but
we
they're
have been
saying,
having that discussion.
what is the irony in that
They would.
she's related to them? She's a middle long distance runner, and they're a sprinter.
That would be crazy.
That
I would be so intrigued. I
that
would
would
be
be
completely intrigued, like the entire
east to
backstory,
west.
because I know that the Clayton twins, their mother, said she did run track
She
and
ran
field,
track, yes.
right? But then to have a third child, that could be, oh my word.
Yeah.
I'm gonna check it out. I'm going to ask them,
Well,
just for clarity.
well, the roses will tell you that it's not far fetched because there are three roses, but incidentally, all three roses for now are charting their way in the middle and the long distances.
Yes, they are.
But low there, yes. So for the listeners who are having that raging debate, she looks like the Clayton twins or resembles the Clayton twins, but she is doing her own thing
Yeah.
over the 8 and the 1500 meters. For now, things might change in the future, but for now, she's a quality middle distance athlete for Eddie Allen.
The stadium filling up nicely. The bleachers starting to look like it should on a Friday. St. Andrew High School is here. Immaculate also here. Excelsior, we know, came in first. Woolmers, boys and girls, are also inside the bleachers. And Kingston College, as we told you, and their bands also here at the moment. Small numbers for Calabar, but I'm sure coming from Red Hills Road, not sure of the traffic, and Jamaica College, they too will make their way. But those are the schools that we can see at the moment, and also the grandstand filled it up nicely. Earlier they have been here, and the rain moved a lot of people up top. But we go to the next event on track, the boys class 3, 800 meters. The record set back in 2007, 158.06 by Wakar Da Costa of Jamaica College then in 2007. But for that first cut over, it seems to be Wilmer's boys Alfario Cunningham. He has looked brilliantly all season, and he already leading the pack, setting the pace. But on his shoulders, Calabar, Damian Bryan, and in the mix, I think is BB Cole, Dante Myers. Wilmer's boys looking to collect some points here at the championships. Gary Card already gave his points, missing out in the 200 meters class 1 boys due to injury suffered following his 100 meters win. But the boys are looking to approach and complete the first 400 meters in this 800 meters. They hear the bell and they go for the final lap. Still leading, Wilmer's boys, and Calabar, BB Coke also there in the mix of things as they look to go around and complete that final lap. So it's the top 2 that will advance the next 2 based on times. Wilmer's boy, Alfario Cunningham, he's in the lead, and he will look to pull away from the field. In second, at the moment, I think it's BB Coke, but I will tell you in just a minute. Yes, it is BB Coke. Dante Myers, he's right there in second. But Wilmer's boys, and he's being supported by their supporters inside the bleachers. And a big surge coming. And will Calabar be able to get the better of Wilmer's? But hitting the 100 meters mark, Alfario Cunningham of Wilmer's boys, he's looking to pull away, but the challenge is coming. The challenge is coming. But look at St. Elizabeth Technical, Don J. Gray, and they're reeling him in, and they're reeling him, but he will just be able to manage and get across the line. 2:06.44, the flash time for Alfario Cunningham. Strong athlete. I love his height as well.
Yeah, and I think what he used his advantage is that he's a strong athlete, and he went out, and I think he took much of the running away from the pack with over the first 600 meters. But we saw much of the chopping and changing and the battling behind him, Trishana, because at one point, BB Cook was in second, Calabar came rushing, Alphonsus Davis came rushing, and then in the end, we saw the set athlete coming forward to ensure that he gets himself into us. But all in all, I think Cunningham did what he was told to do. get the first 600 in, get it right, and cruise home for the last 100. He had enough to hold on despite the closing back, and he's now into the final with the others now trying to figure out who makes it in ahead of Stead seemed to have gotten the second spot, but Calabar faded badly. Alphonsus Davis was there, and the man from BB Coke came in fourth. So those two will have to sit by and wait to see what their times will be.
Absolutely. So the winner of semi-final number one, Alfaria Cunningham of Wilmer's Boys, 206.47, Dejan Gray of St. Elizabeth Technical. He too will go into the final, 206.61. Spalding Tavani Robinson, 206.77, will have to wait to see if he will advance. Second semi-final on track for the 800 meters boys, class 3. So like I told you, the record set back in 2007, Wakarda Costa of Jamaica College, 158.06. That was really good running then for class 3 boy.
Let me give you a little joke, Shannon. I remember when I was running track in high school, I think it was about 2006.
Old Harbour.
Yeah, I went to Kirkvine for a track meet and I was drawn in an eat with Wakar da Costa. And when I saw the giant of a man and the way he approached the marshalling area, and when I went into the race, on the instant that I was placed right behind him, and I can tell you for the rest of the race, I was running with my heart at my mouth. I didn't win,
You
but
know,
from then I know Wakar was just special. He was confident, and we could have seen it if we were observant that this man knew why he came and approached the Marshall area when we were called to the track, and he went on to do a good job, a good stint for JC, and he still holds a record, and it shows you that he was no easy feat back then.
yes, he was definitely a top contender, and he really looks forward to running these events. Made it seem
And
very
didn't
effortless.
look like the typical 800-meter
No, he
runner
didn't,
because he
because
was
he's
a
very
big
stocky.
man. I was like, whoa,
Yeah,
is he the
he's
right
very
age?
built
'Cause we
like
were
a
comparing
sprinter.
our age, yeah, to him,
Yeah.
but he was very dominant for JC and served them well.
So the second semi-final in the 800 meters class 3 boys, it gets off. Alexander Nicholson of Manning, Gawain Marley, William Nib, Kimane Campbell, St. Jago, Denval Roach, Green Island, Tyrone Turner, Manchester, Javon Tomlin, Belfield, Rohandre Simpson, Titchfield, Owen Barrett, Jamaica College. And the boys already approaching the first 200 meters. And in the lead it seems to be Belfield, Javon Tomlin. And he's the silver medalist in the 1500 meters. Titchfield, Rondre Simpson in second, but pulling away and getting comfortable to run his own race. Belfield, Javon Tomlin, and he normally does that. He does it in the 1500 meters, and he's doing it now in the 800 meters. Set the tone, set the pace of the race, and if you want to beat him, you really have to catch him if you can.
Yeah.
And he covers the first 400 meters, 59 seconds, so that's really good. And in second at the moment, it seems to be Manchester, Trevon Turner. Right there as well, Titchfield, Rondre Simpson. And remember, short positions, it's the top two that will advance, and the other two get through in time for the final tomorrow. But the clear winner at the moment, it's really going to be impossible for them to catch him. It's Belfield, Tomlin, Javon Tomlin, 200 meters to go, and he's the man, he's the youngster in full control. And vying for the next position, it's Manchester, Tyrone Turner, and they will look to make a surge, but I think Javon Tomlin is in really, really comfortable position. But let us see if he will finish that way. Big running from St. Jago at the moment, Kaim Campbell, and he's going for it, and he will do just so. But guess what? Both know they are through to tomorrow's final. So the winner, Kaim Campbell of St. Jago, 2:02.89 the flash time, and he will take on the final tomorrow. So 2:02.95 the time for Campbell. Tomlin of Belfield, second, through to the final as well, 2:03.22.
Young Campbell there entering as he left him nothing to chance. Ran a very blistering last 40 50 meters to get by Tomlin, who at this moment were cruising all the way, having in his head secured his spot into the final and Belfield doing wonderful here. Have a lot of representatives across the sprints into the middle distances. And Tomlin, I believe this might be he might be coached by his dad, if I'm not mistaken. I think Dean Tomlin works with the Belfield group, and I noticed from somewhere now the name, and I did some checks, and I'm understanding they might be related. If not, that's his dad, Dean Tomlin, with being a coach for Javon Tomlin. But nonetheless, Tomlin is one for the future, trying to hold what Kemoy Campbell would have set on the likes of Javon Martin, Simoya Campbell. Those are outstanding names that came through the Belfield program. And I think, as we said yesterday, the Hills of Manchester works for these long and middle distance athletes. And we are seeing another challenge on show today.
Absolutely. We go to the third semifinal, the third and final semifinal for the class 3 boys. And it might get a bit loud inside here because JC and Calabar, they will challenge each other in this one. In lane 1, Jermel Daly, St. Mary, and I said Mary High. In lane 2, Malrick Thomas, Calabar. In 3, Mark Hardo Williams, Jamaica College. In 4, Tyrone Morgan, Sydney Pagan. In 5, Javon Tyrrell of St. Jago. In 6, Davin Gardner of Stairtown. In 7, Cameron Brown Campion College. And in lane 8, Demar Robinson.
Should be an interesting matchup as well. Another athlete here from, I think we still have a school there. Could that be Sydney Pagan in 4?
Yes, it is in 4.
So
Tyrone
I
Morgan.
said it repeatedly. Sydney Pagan is really investing in long and middle distance running. I guess they might in the future transition to another event, but for sure, whatever they bring to these champions in Trishana are quality, because all of these athletes, they're getting beyond the heats. I'm sure all the athletes who entered in this event got beyond the heats, and some of them, most of them got into the finals. And this young man, Morgan, will try his best to get into a final, another final for Sydney Pagan. But again, it's going to be difficult because there's Calabar, there's JC, there's St. Jago, and those athletes, along with the athlete who looks to be from Campion. All right, so let's quickly tell you they're going to send them off. And of course, the young man from St. Jago, he goes out best of all. This is the third section, and that's Javon Tyrrell. Tyrrell, we saw him earlier in the 1500 meters lights of front run. And as we speak, he's doing just that, but not too far behind him is the athlete from Boga Road, or Stairtown rather, Davin Gordon. Davin Gordon of Stairtown is there. Jamaica College Williams is also in the mix. So to Thomas of Calabar, Morgan of Sydney Pagan is started a little back, further back, but at this time it's all about the man from Stairtown. Needs to be Davin Gardner that is doing much of the running, and will want to maintain. Davin Gardner of Stairtown from St. Anne is looking to continue on what the likes of Omarion Barrett did for them. But Davin Gardner will have all to do because he's been closely tracked by Javon Tyrrell, and they take the bell. And at this time, Javon Tyrrell gets by him as they look to cover the last 100 meters in as fast a time as they can to ensure that they secure a spot into the final stop 2 for the next 2 best by time. It's all about Tyrrell as he enters the backstretch and begins to step. Gardner still there with some work to do, but he's still keeping in touch to Tyrrell. But Tyrrell looks good. The others are back a little bit. Mercado Williams and Malbrick Thompson of Calabar will have to put in much running. So to Morgan of Sydney Pagan, and those three have begun to set sail and begin to sprint. But at this moment, it's all about Javon Tyrrell, now being challenged again by Davin Gardner. Gardner of Stairtown knows that he will have to do it now or never. So now Davin, but look at Tyrrell. Tyrrell reacts as the man from Jamaica College, Mercado Williams, begins to step. And as we are speaking, Williams stepping by all those competitors. And he's going to win this with Calabar bursting into speed. And it's all going to be about JC ahead of Calabar. So the two that we said were back in third and fourth realized and recognized that the leaders were in quite a short and touching distance. And they did overall them to win. And that's Mercado Williams of Jamaica College, 2 minutes 06.35. Ahead of Mallory Thomas of Calabar, 2 minutes 06.65. Those two run a stout race and are into tomorrow's final. Terrell, 2 minutes 06.86. We thought for a moment there, had it wrapped up. He's from St. Jago. We'll have to wait. So to Davin Gardner, who for the last 60-meter challenge Terrell, but wasn't aware of what was to come. 2 minutes 07 is time, and he finishes fourth. So those times when calculated now will have to ensure that they're in the best two times, and I'm almost certain that those times might not be good enough, but I'm not the officials, neither am I giving the official results. So let's wait to see what those will produce. But for sure, Jamaica College it is, and Calabar, schools that are contending for the top spots here at championship, they're into the finals, and that is what matters, as we have seen it all week long. It doesn't matter what you do in the East nor the semi-finals. If you're not in the finals, your chance of scoring is zero. So we are happy for those athletes doing the business and doing it quite well. At this time, we're going to be moving to the girls' class two. That is now on track. They're going to be two semifinals, and it's going to see the top three from each of these semifinals, along with the next two best times advancing to the final that comes up. The record held by one Carlin Robinson, 2 minutes 07.74, set back in 2001, one of the longest serving records of the boys and girls championships. In each one, it's going to be Malia Henry of Immaculate runs out of lane one, Sabrina Ott of St. Elizabeth Technical in two, Aleki Reynolds, the 1500 meters champion, going for the double. She runs out of lane three. Jada Fletcher of St. Jago in four. The defending champion from last year, Joby Rose of Omen Technical, is in six. Dene Ajay of Sydney Pagan. We spoke repeatedly about Sydney Pagan. Now let's look to Dene Ajay and see what she'll do. Latoya Williams of the Queen School is in seven, with Rihanna Morgan of Idel in lane eight. This one should be very interesting. The defending champion going up against the contending champion. 1500 meters silver medalist against the 1500 meters gold medalist. Will want to ensure that both will have the matchup and a rivalry again tomorrow when the final comes up. But let's also remember that there's Jada Fletcher from St. Jago, very strong athlete who loves to run hard, and you'll see that momentarily when the race has sent them off. Dene Hodges in the past has shown her quality, and she's on a resurgence. Latoya Williams of the Queen School and Idels Morgan will want to fancy their chances of making it into the class 2 girls 800 meters final comes up tomorrow. So there's a lot at stake, listeners, and a lot to run for. Points are plenty here, and schools like Oma Technical that is looking to secure top spot will be relying heavily on Joby Rose. Idel will want to stay in touch. The last we heard, they were leading coming into day 4, and Morgan will want to ensure that Idel will have scoring opportunities. Orton of St. Elizabeth one to watch as well. Fletcher of St. Jago, we said that as well. They're gonna send them off. Joby Rose goes out hard, and she runs a race that sometimes lets you think that she has no fear. And I'll tell you, Reynolds will want to track her, and at the moment Reynolds is doing just that. And the early leader looks to be Morgan of Idel. Morgan of Idel ahead of Reynolds. Joby Rose is right there with them. So too Fletcher, so too Hodges, and Williams from the Queen School. Those 6 moves earliest of all. Morgan of Idel ahead of Reynolds of Alphonsus Davis. Rose in third, biding her time as Reynolds now moves to the front with 250 meters covered in this 800 meters. Aleki Reynolds will know quite well that Joby Rose will be looking at her. So to Morgan, so to Hodges, and they know what she can do, and they will want to ensure that they're there and thereabouts to ensure they secure their spots. Joby Rose in second, Reynolds leads. Hodges now sits into third, Morgan into fourth, Fletcher in 5 as they take the bed minute 02 at the bell. And now the running has begun. Reynolds motors on Joby Rose, goes with her, And now we'll see a ding dong battle between these two. Who will make the first move? Will it be Reynolds? Will it be Rose? Reynolds on the back stretch ahead of Rose. Ajay's trying to hold strong in third. But all about Reynolds, 1500 meters champion, ahead of Joby Rose, the silver medalist. And we saw that in the 1500 meters where they battled to the line. And we might see another repeat of that, as they know that they'll have to do everything to ensure they're in the top two. Yes, they have separated themselves, but guess what? Nobody likes to lose. And I tell you, Rose, for sure, she doesn't like to lose. Reynolds, she doesn't like it either. But now it's still Reynolds who holds the ascendancy. Rose fights with everything she has. But it's all about Reynolds. Reynolds now pulls away and steals this one ahead of Joby Rose. 2 minutes 12.51 ahead of Joby Rose. Both are into the finals for sure. Ajay's held on for third. But it's going to be an interesting wait for them to see if their times takes them into. That's the athlete in fourth, where I believe was Rihanna Morgan. We'll have to wait. So too Jada Fletcher having to settle for the minor shares there with Reynolds, Rose, and others. From what I've seen, they are into finals. 2 minutes 13.40 for Rose, 2 minutes 14.91. Those three will come back tomorrow to battle it all over again for one final time over 800 meters with Morgan and Fletcher, hoping that the second stanza of this 800 meters doesn't produce a time faster than they have done. We'll tell you their times momentarily. That's time for Morgan and the time for Fletcher, because those will be the times on the bubble. But some very interesting, fierce running there. And those two schools from Manchester, close in geography.
So
But
I thought initially I thought Alphonsus was in Clarendon, and I just heard about them, and then I heard that they're in Manchester. I'm like, wow, like whenever competing,
So the debate is that Alphonsus David sits on the border of
border
Manchester
between
and
both.
Clarendon. So some people will say they're in Manchester, while others will say Spalding starts in Clarendon. But I think where the school is situated is more on the Manchester side of Spalding
Than
than
in
the Clarendon
Clarendon.
side of Spalding. So that's an interesting bit of identification, and that's not facts though. We're not historians, neither do we know the geography. We just hear what the people say. But one thing we know, both schools produce outstanding competitors, and we look to see what the second stand, as we said, will produce. This one features Marika Williams of St. Elizabeth Technical, Tanya Robinson of Immaculate Central Plateau. Kia Anderson event will want to make those ranks right in this 800 meters. Tabriel Williams of Alphonsus Davis, very strong front runner in Tabriel Williams. Kyria Gardner of Oma Technical will know quite well that they're depending on her for points, and she has to get business done now to get into the final. So too Kedira Coombs from St. Diego, been around for some time, and Kedira Coombs runs some interesting races at time. But I'll tell you, St. Diego, that's where she's from, and they're used to be some good quality competitors, and they will know quite well that if Kedira Coombs gets into the finals, she can spoil the party. So it's all about Kedira Coombs matching strides with Kevon Gay Fowler and the likes of Tabriel Williams for this, the second heat of the class. Two girls, 800 meters. Top three rather, gets you into the finals with the next two in by time.
Edwin Allen would definitely want to get into the finals. They're still chasing champs. And so I'm looking forward to seeing the Edwin Allen athlete and how she will acquit herself in this one. They're off, and the athletes are looking to establish themselves. Already we see the athlete from Edwin Allen in the lead.
That's Kevon Gay Fowler, of course, very talented young lady. I have a lot of time and respect for her. And she moves to the front. She doesn't usually sit by and allow anybody to dominate or dictate pace. But Tabriel Williams, so too Kedira Coombs, they love to run at the butt. So far, Kevon Gay Fowler holds the inside and holds the advantage. Kedira Coombs is right there. Tabriel Williams, so too Gordon. But it's all about Kevon Gay Fowler. Fowler knows quite well that she has one job to do, and this is to get her school into the finals. Kedira Coombs trails her coming into the home stretch. Look at Tabriel Williams. So too the young lady from Queen's School, as we said, Kia Anderson, who likes to mix it up and match it up with these big names. And she's right there, thereabouts. It's all about Kevon Gay Fowler. runs with a nice technique and a nice style that I needs and drives as best as she can, and she can space at least one in the non. This if they wait for their time to be considered as process so far. At this point, heading down the backstretch, kept on getting Kedera Coombs